of the regular season. And tonight, a matchup on Game Time that has playoff implications between the last two Class A state champions, number 2, Bellevue West, and number 9, Omaha North. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Kinnick Stadium for the matchup tonight between Bellevue West and Omaha North. Along with John Schreiner, I'm Gary Sharp. Intriguing matchup, John, from the standpoint that Bellevue West is off for the second straight year to a 7-0 start. Omaha North, the last time we saw them, they were scuttling a little bit at 1-3. They've now won 3 in a row, but tonight clearly comes down to offense versus defense.
Yeah, it certainly does, and the big matchup is that prolific Bellevue West offense against an Omaha North defense that at times has been good, but at other times, Gary, they have really given up some big plays.
You see Bellevue West number 1 in Class A in total offense, 456 yards a game. What has helped Omaha North, John, during this 3-game winning streak is that defense has only given up 16 points in the 3 games.
Yeah, and they've certainly been better, but you look at that bottom line right there, the turnover margin. Bellevue West, so many turnovers they get on the season, and Omaha North, their problem's been hanging on to the football on offense.
For the Thunderbirds, it is playmakers in purple, and there is a big-time playmaker in the backfield tonight.
Yeah, Javon Ducker is just a tremendous young running back, getting tons of recruiting attention from schools all over the country, Notre Dame, Stanford, and of course all the ones here in the Midwest, but just a fantastic runner in the open field, makes people miss, and a good receiver out of the backfield also.
Usually when we show up to do a North game, we talk about the prolific offense and the running backs that they have. Well, tonight we need to find an important player. He's a linebacker that's going to be chasing Ducker around.
Yeah, Steven Krawcheck, and earlier in the season we got a chance to watch him. He's just an absolute tackle machine. Not the biggest guy out on the field, but he flows well from sideline to sideline and just always seems to find the football.
2 weeks from tonight, the Class A playoffs begin. Both of these teams will be in it. Where will they be for seeding and for home field advantage? This is a big one. We've got kickoff coming up next. It's Game Time on Your View.
Game Time high school football action on Your View is presented by Iowa Western, the world is waiting, and by Cox Business Security. Join us all fall long for some of the top high school football from around the country on Game Time. For in-depth interviews, behind-the-scenes coverage, recruiting updates, and more, be sure to visit yourview.com, your home for high school football.
This is Rose. Rose was destined to be different, to be a small business owner. She chose Cox Business because we're different too. We got to know Rose. And while she likes to take risks in the kitchen, we made it easy to keep an eye on safety. It's just another way we do business differently. Cox Business Security Solutions.
Okay, it's decision time. I want to take classes I need, spend less time working to pay for them. I want flexibility to transfer my credits. I want to get started now. Find your path at iwcc.edu and get hands-on, real-world experience. Start now at Iowa Western.
Sixth-year head coach Mike Huffman for Bellevue West. He has developed a championship program, 78-30, number 2 in the state, 7-0 2 years ago. They won the state title 43-6 over Omaha North. That's the last time these two schools have met.
Yeah, keys tonight, I think they have to play free and loose, no pressure, as they're starting to think about getting that number 1 overall seed. And then on defense, first down D. You got to slow this Omaha North team down on first down, not let them get rolling and get 3rd and short, and then clock. I know they're all gas, no brakes, but I think they need to not give Omaha North as many chances on offense tonight.
Last two state champions set to go. Omaha North won the toss. They deferred, so they will kick off as we welcome you into week number 8 of Game Time on Your View. John Schreiner, I'm Gary Sharp. It is chilly, about 20 degrees below normal this time of the year in Omaha. It has rained the majority of the week. No rain, little wind tonight. Temperatures in the mid-40s, and we are set for football. A key non-district matchup. And the short kickoff and a fair catch is called for, in Bellevue West right away will take over at the 30-yard line, and you will get to see the most prolific offense in Class A. Look at the Omaha North sideline. Last time we were here, they got beat by Omaha Burke, and we're wondering, where is North going a year after they won the state title? Where they're going? They've won 3 in a row. Evan Kieser is out as the starting quarterback. Did not begin the year as the starting quarterback. Began the year as a wide receiver, and he'll put it up right away for Shane Daly Jr. And it's for minimal gain, and that'll be a big key. One thing that John will touch on is open field tackling tonight for the Vikings. You get a look at Larry Martin, the 19th-year head coach of the Vikes.
Yeah, and he's been a good one. And the keys for Millard North tonight are pretty simple. Gray skies, gray carries. The weather gets cold, you feed the beast. As Gary said, no chunk plays. They got to tackle in space and steal one. I think Omaha North needs to get a big turnover tonight to pull out the win.
Ducker on his first carry, and he has got a first down, and there's a flag that follows. It's basketball on grass. We mentioned in the open, they go with the tagline, playmakers in purple. And this penalty looks like it'll be on the Thunderbirds of Bellevue West. Our first flag of the evening. Bellevue West 7-0. North is 4-3. Again, this is one of those rare late season non-district matchups. Usually we get this in the first month of the season. A block in the back on the run by Ducker, and that'll push the T-Birds back. Bellevue West, the closest game where they've been forced to play more than 48 minutes of tension convention football. They won the season opener in overtime against Lincoln High. Won by 55 against Omaha South last week. And in their last 6 games since that Lincoln High game, they've outscored the opposition 329-73.
One of those games has been within 35 points.
Second down and 12. The penalty. Spotfeld moves it all the way back to the 28-yard line. Kieser, who 2 years ago was the starting quarterback, and then he suffered an injury, was not the starter on the state championship team. He was the starting wide receiver this year, and then their starting quarterback the first 2 weeks got injured, so Kieser is back. With the starting lineup that Kieser will be engineering. Nate Sullivan, Shane Daly, Xavier Betts, Javon Ducker. We could go on and on and on. There is a load of offensive talent in the purple helmets. And now it is 3rd down and 8. Passing down, and that's what Kieser will do. He'll put it up deep down the field, and it is caught. And a first down, as Daly was right there. Threw it over the top of the coverage. He had a huge cushion, made the catch, and on 3rd down, the T-Birds convert, and they move into North territory. 23-yard pitch and catch.
Well, Daly has really benefited from all the attention that Xavier Betts has garnered this season. Teams roll their coverages his way, and on the opposite side, Daly has quietly become the leading receiver for the T-Birds.
He's a transfer from Omaha North. He's been at Bellevue West for 2 years. When he was at North, he was known as Shane Smith, and now looking deep for Betts. There was a little bit of contact downfield, but no flag as the pass lands harmlessly in the end zone.
That's just good coverage, that contact downfield, cutting off the route a little bit, forcing Betts back to the inside. Ball was overthrown by a considerable margin anyway, but that's good coverage.
On the man-to-man coverage was Tyree Stovall. That's the North defense. They've only allowed 16 points in this 3-game winning streak. That's where they're looking to turn things around. Started with a shutout. They beat Lincoln Southeast here a few weeks back. And Ducker cuts to the outside. He's broken the initial tackle, and then he's ridden out of bounds in front of the T-Bird bench. And it'll be another 3rd down and short for Bellevue West.
Well, that's what makes Ducker so interesting as a prospect. Is he's so good in the hole, and he has those choppy feet. It's like he always has one foot on the ground, so he can change direction quickly. It reminds you a little bit of the way Le'Veon Bell runs, where he's just able to shift in the hole and find the right spot to be.
3rd down and 3. His vision running the football has greatly improved. He gives a lot of credit to his head coach, Mike Huffman. They changed the play at the line of scrimmage. Chilly night at Kinnick Stadium, named after the 1939 Heisman Trophy winner at the University of Iowa. And then Ducker on the inside handoff. He ran into a man, but was able to carry the pile for an extra yard, and he has a first down before he was slowed up on the play by Emar Vincent. Back-to-back third down conversions by the T-Birds. And you get a look here is Ducker with a lot of power upstairs.
Yeah, and it's a good job by the lineman getting off and getting to that second level and getting a block on Krawcheck to spring Ducker.
So they moved from the 30-yard line all the way to the north 34-yard line. And 2 years ago in the state final, Jalen Bradley, who is now at Nebraska, made his presence known. 43-6, play action fake. Keyser throws it deep down the field. There is a flag down as the ball was caught by Daly. He made a move. He got inside of the 10, but this may be coming back. There is a flag on the field at the 33-yard line. Already one penalty has wiped out a big gain for the T-Birds. We'll see if it's a second one here. Second straight year that Bellevue West has started 7-0. And then last year they went and played a little game of football against Westside in a game that was the highest scoring game in the history of Class A in the state of Nebraska. 73-62. We're not kidding. It was not a, we are not misspeaking. 73-62, Westside won that game. People still talking about a year later. That was week 8 last year. So they sort out this penalty. You read the lips, a legal man downfield. And that's the second penalty on this drive for Bellevue West.
Well, for most teams, those kind of penalties are drive killers. And this Bellevue West offense has been so good, they can usually overcome things like that. But even so, that's a fortunate break for the North defense. That was a big gain that was going to set this offense that likes to get in that wildcat look with Ducker when they get inside the 10. It's really effective for them. So a big break for the North defense.
So it'll be first down and 15. Both of these teams have gone 3-0 in their district. We'll get back into district play next weekend. We'll win the district, which is an automatic berth into the field of 16. But where will they be? As of right now, John, I know you like this phrase. If the playoffs began today, both of these teams would have home field advantage, at least for the first drive. Keyser calls his own number, and he can't get away. He was chased outside, but he was chased all the way outside by Marquis Siegel, who has really come on in the last 3 weeks, according to his head coach, Larry Martin.
And this is something that Mike Huffman hinted at this week. He said that we would see quarterback run game more than we've ever seen it in the past 2 years because Keyser has that athletic ability in the backfield.
Siegel now 47 tackles on the year. Second down and 15. Home into the backfield, 4 wide receivers. Ducker on the Wildcat, though. He will throw it deep down the field, and Betts is wide open. He catches it, and he races into the end zone. Touchdown on the Wildcat. Ducker from 39 yards to a wide open Xavier Betts.
Well, there's one of those chunk plays, and this time it comes of the trick play variety with Ducker throwing the pass. What can he do, Gary? That was a great throw for a wide open receiver. Nobody accounts for Xavier Betts, the one guy that you're supposed to account for.
39-yard touchdown. Didn't take very long for Bellevue West. 9 plays, 70 yards, 339, and they score on the 2-point conversion. They spread north out, and Sullivan right up the middle makes it 8-0. This is something that Bellevue West does a lot, because they don't attempt a lot of PATs. They like to go for it for the 2-point conversion. Here is the Ducker touchdown pass. Rolling to his right. How does 15, who is a 4-star wide receiver in the class of 2020, get so wide open?
Well, North's defensive coordinator, whom you know pretty well, Gary, he's going to be asking the same question.
I'll leave that one alone. As Betts makes the touchdown reception, it's his 8th touchdown of the season on his 28th catch. The Super Stater, who has offers from Nebraska, Iowa, Iowa State, Minnesota, and Purdue, the 4-star recruit, #1 in the state of Nebraska, with the touchdown reception, and it is 8-0 in favor of the T-Birds.
Well, he had work to do after he caught that pass, too. Ducker had to float it up there to get it to him. And there was all to do still for Betts, who made a great cut to his left and saw the end zone ahead of him.
The kickoff from Bellevue West. Bellevue West in the point system right now, number 3. We'll get more into it at halftime. Lincoln North, or Omaha North, I beg your pardon, is 8th. 16 of the 32 in Class A make it. There was a penalty, a personal foul penalty on the 2-point conversion. So Bellevue West will kick off from the North 45, and let's look how we got to this point on the 2-point conversion, John.
Well, this is one of the old swing gate type formations, and a little toss back like a 6-man football play and throw it into a crowd and come up with it somehow.
Yeah, Mike Huffman, who is an offensive wizard, I'm sure sitting in his den with his boys, he somehow on a napkin drew up that idea, and it results in a 2-point conversion. So it's 8-0 now, right out of the gate. 8:21 to go in the first quarter from Kinnick Stadium. And this kickoff will travel into the end zone. And on the touchback, automatically in high school football, when it goes into the end zone, it is a touchback here at Kinnick Stadium on the campus of Northwest High School. Omaha North shares this facility. They do not have a football stadium on their campus. They do have a football field that they practice at. They just do not have a facility and space large enough to host Friday night football, as popular as Lincoln North is. And you get a look, or Omaha North, as you get a look at Xander Gray. First play from scrimmage, and it is Xander Gray. And it is Xander Gray to the outside. He's off to the races. A first down and more, nearly a pickup of 15 on the opening carry. Already over 1,000 yards, and the big fellow who's going to do a lot of work tonight. That is exactly what Omaha North needed after they gave up the opening drive touchdown.
Well, he runs behind the bigger left side of this line, behind Butler and Keegan Clark. The 2 of them out there. Xander Gray not really running over anybody on that play. Preferred to show off his little juke move.
Xander 6'1", 230, back-to-back carries, and he barrels right up the middle, pushes the pile for about 4 yards. So let's take a look at this Omaha North offense. Averages 333 yards a game. That's the defense that they'll be challenged against, and now the offense. Makai Butler, the big left tackle. Bryant Wesson, as a pass catcher, has really come on. Jalen Foster as well. Unlike last year where they had the thunder and lightning from Xander Gray to Milton Sarbaugh, they are looking for a compliment to Gray. 3 straight carries and another first down.
And this is what you worry about if you're Bellevue West. They have an undersized defensive line. And, you know, the front 7 really as a whole is pretty small. So when you got a big thumping back like Xander Gray, it's going to be incumbent on these guys to go low, take out the leg, and try to bring him down that way. Because if these guys tackle Xander Gray high, they're going to get taken for a ride.
Key is that front 4, Thompson, Shannon, Cheney, Powell. There's some large bodies out there, but there's a large one carrying the football, another on a toss. He is into Bellevue West territory. Xander Gray, who has really taken it upon himself in this 3-game winning streak for the Vikings. He had a monster game last week against Lincoln Northeast, 160 yards and 2 scores. He's over 1,000 yards rushing this year, the returning all-stater. He's over 3,000 rushing yards in the last 2 years. And for the rare times tonight, you'll see him come out of the game as his pickup of 6 makes it 2nd down and 4.
That's going to bring in one of those backup running backs. Treon Fairgood-Jones on Llewellyn, not suited tonight.
A couple of injuries are key. They don't miss a beat with Gray being out. Fairgood-Jones all the way to the 28-yard line. That is a pickup of 23 yards.
Well, Jones has had some carries this season. He had 62 carries coming into tonight, and here's a good one right there. Good downfield blocking, good vision by Fairgood-Jones, and this North offense is rolling a little bit.
An answer to Bellevue West opening touchdown drive, and now the Vikings taking it from their own 20 all the way down to the 28-yard line. Fairgood-Jones remains in the game in that familiar I formation that the Vikings run. And again on the toss, and he's got a crease out to the outside, headed to the corner of the end zone. Can he get there? He does! Touchdown! Omaha North. Fairgood Jones from 28.
Game on. Put in the speed back after Xander Gray starts the game thumping on this Bellevue West defense. And Fairgood Jones, watch him, he gets to the outside, gets a good block from his fullback, and then nobody's going to catch him from there.
Jared Venner in for the PAT. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Bellevue West scores on their opening drive. Omaha North responds. Fairgood Jones from 28 yards with the touchdown. 6-play drive, all on the ground in only 2 minutes and 16 seconds. And I like your phrase, game on. We know that Bellevue West is basketball on grass, but really, if we go back about a month, John, and we'll get into this when we return, this is a different looking Omaha North team. Definitely. 8-7. Buckle them up, my friends. This could be a fun Friday night at Kinnick Stadium. Bellevue West 8, North 7. It's game time on Your View.
You're watching Game Time on Your View. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out yourview.com.
Here's to the do-gooders. They're the early risers, the selfless, the forward thinkers, the brave. There are many ways to describe them. We call them family. CHI Health. Good happens here.
You're watching Game Time on Your View. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out yourview.com.
We're halfway through the first quarter, and both teams have already scored a touchdown. Game time on Your View. And this week on Your View's high school football recruiting podcast, Over the Middle, he's been called the best quarterback ever to come out of the state of Arizona. Pinnacle High School's 5-star recruit, Spencer Rattler. What a great last name for a high school product from Arizona. He's the subject of this week's podcast as Jason Jewell of 247sports.com joins Jeremy Crabtree to break down high school football in the Valley of the Sun. Plus, you'll get a preview of #1 St. John Bosco and #2 ranked Mater Dei. All that and more each week on the Over the Middle podcast at yourview.com. Highly recommended. You love the ins and outs of high school football recruiting. Jeremy Crabtree is one of the best, and he is on yourview.com. Also, if you go to yourview.com, you'll see John Schreiner's story on Javon Ducker, which is a fantastic look into the running back that is more than the guy piling up yards on Friday nights. Talk more about him and his future, as you are seeing a couple of guys tonight. We've already seen Ducker and Betso Cup, but you'll be seeing on Saturdays here in the next couple of years. 8-7, a short kickoff, and a good return by Bellevue West all the way out to the 32-yard line as Justin Cheney gives this offense good field position. Are you looking for a new career? Explore our programs in business, health, and technology. Get going today on your career path by visiting iwcc.edu. Iowa Western, the world is waiting. Ducker to Betts out of the Wildcat on a little bit of trickery. And then Fairgood Jones on a 28-yard touchdown run. Where have you been? We've already had fireworks on a Friday in Northwest Omaha. Ducker with the carry, crashes over the tackler for about 5 yards.
Wow, that inside zone, that is such good vision by Ducker to see the flow and cut it to the backside and find a little crease to gain 5 yards.
Ducker last year, 1,700 plus yards on the ground, 26 touchdowns. This year on the ground, he's got 17 touchdowns. He's in the sidecar to Evan Keyser, the starting quarterback, and Keyser rolls out. Got some protection, throws it deep down the field. The man is wide open, touchdown. Daly had a long way away from the defensive back, and Keyser just dropped it in there for the touchdown pass. And that's the response that Bellevue West has. 64-yard touchdown pass. And we ask again, John, how did the wide receiver get so wide open?
Well, you'll see it on the replay. Daly on the outside. He put the double move out there. And Keyser gave a little pump fake, and the cornerback absolutely bid on it. There was nobody around Daly.
Who's done a great job this year as the outside wide receiver. Also, how about the throw from Keyser? Dropped it into the breadbasket. Again, they go for the two-point conversion. A little jump pass to Betts, and he goes up and catches it. Now 16-7, Bellevue West. They respond quickly.
And those two two-pointers are going to be important, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But here's the replay. And look at this, just a little pump from Keyser. Gives him a little shoulder, and then just throws it as far as he absolutely can. And you see nobody else in the picture for Daly. That double move was killer.
It's an offense that averages 56 points a game, 456 yards. Our statistician tonight, Glenn Sisk, he's going to be busy. We're going to have to check his right hand, taking all those numbers down. We've had 3 touchdowns in the first 6 minutes and 39 seconds of this game.
I don't know if we have a policy that covers carpal tunnel.
With it, Bellevue West, known for their offense. John, you and I saw them plenty in their championship year, a year in which, as a team, they scored 636 points. Jalen Bradley had 312 of those by himself, finished with 52 touchdowns. He had 1 game Bradley did during his senior year, the championship year for Bellevue West, in which he ran for 496 yards on the ground. 16-7, 2 Bellevue West touchdown passes and 2 two-point passes on the conversion. Now can Omaha North respond? And they will have a returnable kick. They'll start at about the 24-yard line. And extracurriculars, a wrestling match going on as Coolerhead's trying to prevail and separate everybody. There are a multitude of flags. Mike Huffman, the Bellevue West coach, pushing his players back.
Well, these two teams, they chirp at each other on Twitter quite a bit. They have developed a little rivalry between the two schools who are really nowhere near each other. So it's not a proximity rivalry. It's more of a success thing. You know, they met in the state final a couple of years ago. They've met in the playoffs. They've played just about every year under Huffman's tenure. And, you know, the social media starts to get going. And these guys have known each other growing up now, playing junior high football and pee-wee.
Wow, 1 flag, 1 penalty on Bellevue West on the personal foul. I thought this might be offsetting. Right. You see there in your picture, yeah, it's not wrestling season yet. But Toy Miller got into a wrestling match with the North Viking, threw him down, and that's when the flags came. So that's a big benefit for Omaha North. They'll get the extra 15 on the kickoff return. Down 16-7.
And you know what had to be really pleasing to Larry Martin on Omaha North's first possession is they never had a situation where they had to throw the ball. They were able to just keep it on the ground and churn out some first downs before that big 28-yard run.
And that's kind of been the question this year for the second-year starting quarterback, Houston Fulgestrom. But he threw the ball well last week. He had a couple of touchdown passes, 104 yards passing against Northeast. But he's only a 48% passer. The touchdown drive, all 6 plays on the ground. There's 7 plays on the ground. This time, Gray is slowed up in the backfield. There is a flag down as going low to make the tackle was Ryan Rogers. And we will see what the flag is for. It is on North. The Vikings have already started to march back. Rogers, 44 tackles on the year, including 9 tackles for loss. Last time we saw Bellevue West, well, the only time we saw Bellevue West, when they won against Papillion La Vista South, they had 17 tackles for loss in that game.
They were good that night. There was no way around it. When you win 51-16, it's hard to be bad.
The smells of hot chocolate and chili in the air at Kinnick Stadium. This will be the first pass for North, and they complete it. Wesson with a great catch in traffic. High point of the football, and that is a pickup of 13 yards.
How about that? It's a little post route. Gets in between the two safeties. Nice catch there by Wesson, and a good strong throw by Fogelstrom.
Fogelstrom started quarterback last year on the 12-1 Vikings that won the state title. Their lone loss was to Pius X near the end of the regular season. Here's Xander Gray. He slipped a little bit on this field turf that has taken a lot of rain this week in Omaha. Maybe 2 yards for the big running back. And now after that penalty, sets up a 3rd down and 9. Larry Martin elect to go to the air once more. I think you want to keep that Bellevue West offense off the field as much as you can. But, I mean, Bellevue West is one play from scoring every time they take the field.
No doubt.
Here is the 3rd down. Fogelstrom will put it up deep down the field, and it is caught. Another great catch. Going high for the football. Jalen Foster pulls it down, and it's a 1st down for North.
Well, the big question, as you said, Gary, coming in was, could North throw the ball when they had to? And the first pass of this drive, they didn't have to throw it, but they wanted to, and they connected. And right here, a passing situation, a definite passing situation, and they connect.
And they only throw for 70 yards a game. But a couple of big completions on this drive, and Fogelstrom will throw it up again. Deep down the sideline, running under it. Here's Wesson. He catches it. He's got a touchdown. 42 yards. This is kind of fun.
Wow. Did not see that coming. A 1st down moonshot from Houston Fogelstrom, who, by the way, is 3 for 3 passing here in the 1st quarter.
Venner, he's late coming on the field. He's the kicker. He's the most important guy on this PAT. He's probably like everybody else. Their head is spinning. We've had 29 points, and we aren't even to the end of the 1st quarter. Remember last year in week 8 for Bellevue West? Venner's kick is up, and it is good. 16-14. So North once again, John, responds.
Well, this is not even play action, Gary. It's 3 steps and throw it to the corner. Wesson just outruns the cornerback, which was Keegan Johnson on the play, and strolls into the end zone. How about it?
Again, last year, week 8, 73-62. Wouldn't that be something? $30 points right now. You know the score of that game. Glenn Siskis just told us that we are on a record-breaking pace right now. Because we were doing a game that night and following the score, and we're like, is that real?
Yeah.
And we were texting people at the game. Is that really what's happening?
Is that a mistype?
Yeah. Well, there are some that are tuning in right now on Game Time, and they're looking at the score, 16-14. Oh, they must be nearing halftime.
No.
No, we got 3:32 to go in the 1st quarter, and the team that is always one play away from scoring is going to get the football back. But an impressive drive for Omaha North. It could have been shut down by their own mistakes on the penalty. Houston Fogelstrom with some big completions, including the 42-yard touchdown pass to Wesson. As Daly from Omaha North Viking, who's got a handful of Division II offers that he is contemplating, returns the kickoff out to the 31-yard line. Fairgood Jones, who has one of the North Viking touchdowns, made the tackle on special teams. This is a North team that is on the injury list. There are quite a few of their top players are listed. They're without a tight end tonight. They're without a fullback, without a defensive back. They have matched Bellevue West. The only difference, 2-point conversion. There's a little quick pass to Sullivan. He bounced it to the outside and got enough yardage for a 1st down.
Now this Bellevue West offense, talk to Mike Huffman about what their style is. They might line up in the spread and look like they're going to zip it all over the yard, but he's a big-time balance guy. He told me this week they were 3 plays from being exactly 50-50.
Lowest point total this year they've had is 38. Ducker's going nowhere. Middle of the game, maybe 2 yards. Right into that heart of the defensive line. The charge led by big Tristan Gray, 6'3", 290-pound defensive lineman. There is a late flag down. Looks like it'll be against Bellevue West. You got a quick look at Mike Huffman, a University of Nebraska Kearney graduate in the late 90s.
I think this one was verbal because I didn't see any contact when the flag came out. So something was said that was untoward.
Another personal foul against Bellevue West. No, it's offsetting. They've called a personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct on North as well, as John alluded to. And you kind of see with our low camera angles, there is a lot of, the kids call it barking, John. I think you and I and Glenn, we call it chirping. Kids nowadays, they call it barking. So these two teams have barked at each other, and we've had a couple of unsportsmanlike conduct flags. Still 2:56 to go in the first quarter, 16-14. The ball resting at the 45-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
I think chirping's the hockey term.
Used to be exchanging unpleasantries. Easier to put it up. And another completion, this time to Daly. Can he find a room as he neared that 1st down marker? Just about a yard short. Daly now 33 receptions on the season. He's number 2 in Class A behind his teammate Xavier Betts for receiving yards per game at 88. He's already got a touchdown reception. Now on 3rd down and 2. Cheney is in the backfield. Keyser straight ahead. He's got a 1st down.
I think it was Wildcat look again there, Gary.
It was Javon Ducker, who's already thrown a touchdown pass out of that look. And 1st down and 10 for the Thunderbirds. Ducker has already taken unofficials to Notre Dame and Minnesota. He's been offered by Purdue and South Dakota State. Long snap count. Now Keyser under pressure, rolling out of the pocket, throws it downfield and completes another pass. Betts makes the catch and spins his way to the 24-yard line in the arms of Marcus Siegel and also Avion Barnes.
Well, both quarterbacks have come out firing darts here early on and just can't seem to miss so far.
20-yard pass completion. Bellevue West is driving once again. Their lowest point total this year, 38 against Elkhorn South. They're looking for their 3rd touchdown of the first quarter. Evan Keyser with a dipsy-do. Angling left, angling right. And a 1st down carry by the quarterback, wide receiver, now back at quarterback in his senior year.
Yeah, he's got an interesting story, Keyser. And we've detailed it before on the program, but was a quarterback as a sophomore, looked like he'd won the starting job and tore up his knee, gave way to Joe Dolencheck, moved to wide receiver, and here he is after another quarterback gets hurt. He's the signal caller again.
Ducker had some downfield blocking and he could not get all the way around the corner. And he's pushed out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Look at North coach Damon Benning. Ducker, whose brother Tristan plays at South Dakota. Bellevue West can get a 1st down near the end of a busy first quarter. Ducker again out of the Wildcat. He's going nowhere. Good push by the North defensive line. Now it will set up a third down. And it may set up a third down to begin the second quarter.
Well, it's something that this offense loves to do, is get into that wildcat look inside the 10. But obviously Omaha North has watched their film and read it well, stepped up into the gap to stop him.
We've had 4 possessions. We've had 4 touchdowns. 16-14, Bellevue West leads Omaha North. Thunderbirds will have a key third down in the shadow of the goal line. When you return for the start of the second quarter, it's game time on your view.
Transform your existing space today with a new remodel from DeLoa & Sons. No matter what your budget is, our in-house design team will bring your vision to life, providing the quality craftsmanship you expect. And you work directly with the owner during all phases of your project, remodeling residential and commercial spaces for over 20 years. DeLoa & Sons. Design, build, remodel. Start your new project today. Call or learn more at deloaconstruction.com.
This is Rose. Rose was destined to be different, to be a small business owner. She chose Cox Business because we're different too. We got to know Rose. And while she likes to take risks in the kitchen, we made it easy to keep an eye on safety. It's just another way we do business differently. Cox Business Security Solutions.
Now at H&H, Factory Direct Clearance Pre-Owned. As a new car dealer, we get access to Factory Direct used vehicles before the public. And we just got a shipment at all 3 locations. Visit hhautomotive.com and click Factory Direct to see them all. Deals like this 2017 Camry, only $16,000. We're passing the savings on to you at all 3 H&H locations. Or shop online, hhautomotive.com.
With 2 weeks to go in the regular season, look at the Omaha World Herald top 10. Burke remains atop where they've been all season long. Bellevue West at number 2, Millard West at 3, and Grand Island, Lincoln High round out the first 5. And Omaha West Side, Millard South, Creighton Prep, the North Vikings number 9, and Lincoln Southeast are 3 unbeaten teams, 7-0 in Class A. Burke, Bellevue West, and Omaha West Side. What an intriguing postseason it will be in Class A. Burke has been dominant all season long, but not probably as dominant as we all thought they would be. Are they just waiting for the postseason? But there's some parity atop Class A this year.
Well, there are 3 teams in that second 5. West Side is undefeated. Millard South has 1 loss, and Creighton Prep has 2. Those are 3 teams you don't want to see come November, and somebody's going to, probably one of those top 5 teams.
By the way, and we'll get into this at halftime with the NSA point system. Millard West is number 1 in that category. So as we return for the start of the second quarter after a wild first quarter that saw a combined 30 points, Bellevue West has 3rd down and 5. They can get a first down. Evan Keyser is back in the game at quarterback. Man in motion is Sullivan, and Keyser rolling out, looking for that first down marker. He cuts it up, but he's not going to get there. It'll be 4th down. Good pursuit on the outside. Stephen Quanchik, who's a transfer from Creighton Prep, among the seniors honored here tonight at Kinnick Stadium, was able to lead the charge for the men in gray.
And no kick.
And Ducker in the Wildcat, not a surprise. And there's a timeout called by North, their defensive staff. They want to make sure they have all the personnel accounted for. So North will take a timeout just into the start of the second quarter. 16-14. Bellevue West leading Omaha North. Next week, Omaha North will finish against Bellevue East, while Bellevue West will take on Omaha Central. And then 2 weeks from tonight, the postseason begins. It culminates in November in Lincoln Memorial Stadium, the home of the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Last 2 state champions out of Class A here tonight. Bellevue West winning their first title in 2016, first title in the history of the school. And then Omaha North winning their third Class A title in the last 5 years. Last year, they have been in 5 of the last 6 state championship games. You can really see how much an impact Larry Martin has had, not only on the field here at North, but also in the hallways and the community.
We say it every year, and just, you know, 4 or 5, maybe 6 years ago, before they started this great run, they weren't very good.
1-8 in Larry's first year. It was 18 years ago. Ducker and the Wildcat on 4th down, and they run some trickery. Keyser, the quarterback, pass in the end zone. It's caught. Touchdown to Sullivan. There was a flag down, however. Mike Huffman has gone arm length into his bag of tricks, but this time the man downfield will wipe the touchdown off the board. How about this for Mike Huffman, waiting for week 8 on Game Time?
The Wildcat reverse pass. He did Wildcat pass to score a touchdown in the first quarter, and here's the reverse to Keyser. Wide open receiver, but an ineligible receiver downfield is going to wipe it off the board.
Will not change what Bellevue West is going to do. Keyser all alone in the backfield. 5 wide receivers at his disposal. This is 4th down and 10. The yard to gain is the 3-yard line. They would like to put it in the red shaded end zone. Snap back to the quarterback. Steps up, throws deep into the end zone, and just over the head of his wide receiver, Nate Sullivan, and North holds.
And Sullivan had created a little bit of separation, but Keyser threw it to the back corner, and Sullivan cut the route shallow.
So a touchdown off the board. Mark that down, John, as we move along on this chilly Friday night. That may be something to go back later in the game and revisit. A good defensive stand by North. Now can North, 2 for 2 on their possessions, run in a touchdown pass from outside of the red zone. Can they put together a drive? Look at Xander Gray. Last year he scored the game-winning touchdown with under a minute to go against Kearney, and here he's got a big pickup. He's all the way out to the 25-yard line for a quick hitter for 12.
And Gary, Bellevue West better tighten up on defense, because they've looked kind of porous here through the start of this football game. This is not a team that you want to struggle to stop the run against.
And they have been good against the run, but they have not seen many like Xander Gray running downhill against you. This defense pitched a shutout against South last week. They've given up 2 straight touchdowns to the Vikings. And it takes 5, 6, 7 Thunderbirds, led by Rogers, to bring down Xander Gray on a 1st down carry.
Yeah, and I don't think the formation did North any favors. They got a completely loaded double tight set with a fullback in. It crowds that box so much. I think you've got to at least take one guy outside to give Gray a little bit of room.
It was Logan Bird that hit Gray low. This time, Gray doesn't get hit until he's 5 yards upfield. Now it'll bring up a 3rd down and medium for North. Houston Fulkerstrom completed a couple of key passes on their last drive. The last one being a 42-yard touchdown pass to Wesson. But on 3rd down, they weren't afraid to throw it. The throw here is 3rd down and 4. In the I formation, the toss to Fairgood Jones. He cuts it back. He's got a 1st down. And he is dragging a T-Bird all the way out to the 41-yard line. Holding on for dear life, waiting for some help, was Caden Hayes. But on the toss and a little changeup from Gray to Fairgood Jones, they move the sticks once again for the Vikings.
Yeah, they bring in Fairgood Jones. You got to think, you bring in the speed back, you're going to run outside. It's a good block on the edge by the fullback and a good cut up the middle by Fairgood Jones, and then just by his toenails gets dragged down.
Fairgood Jones is just outside of the top 20 of the 2020 prospects in the state of Nebraska. I'm sure that'll be revisited in the offseason. He's had a really good junior year. How about this? On senior night at North, it's juniors that are making some noise. Jones remains in the game as you see him in the I formation. Now the play action fit. Fulgestrom to throw it deep down the field, and it is caught! It looked like it was going to be intercepted, and then into the hands of Jalen Foster, the football. Resighted, and it's a big pickup and a first down for North. 35 yards.
That was unbelievable because I didn't think there's any way Foster could catch that football.
It looks like it was an interception that slipped out of the hands of the defender, and Foster was right there to grasp it.
Foster just took it away. It looked like it was right in
Gannon Spawn's
hands.
And here's Sander Gray to the outside, to the end zone. Touchdown, he waves goodbye. And there will be a flag for unsportsmanlike conduct as he trots into the end zone from 23 out.
That's going to be a taunting call all night long. Just got to play smarter than that. You're already, Gary, here's the point, is that Bellevue West has already gone for two twice. You're behind the 8 ball with the conversions. And now you're going to back your kicker up to make this extra point. It's important.
So as you saw, Gray going into the end zone turned and waved goodbye to Bellevue West. Had brought a flag and a stern lecture from his head coach, Larry Martin. 23-yard touchdown for Xander Gray. His 13th touchdown of the year, and a big fella bringing it home. And North with their first lead of the night, and they are 3 for 3. Venner in for the PAT. Larry Martin did not like that. He had harsh words for his senior.
Are they not going to assess the penalty on the extra point? It'll be on the kickoff.
Another quick drive for North, and that came on the heels of stopping Bellevue West on 4th down. They go 6 plays, 87 yards. There was your explanation.
I retract my criticism a little bit. It doesn't hurt as much.
Venner in for the PAT. Pulled by Fulgestrom. The kick is up, and it is 21-16 in favor of North. They have gone 3 for 3 on their drives. And we have ourselves a bowl game as North trying to make it 4 in a row. They lead the 7-0 Bellevue West Thunderbirds.
That's something else.
Now Bellevue West turn to respond. Interested in an exciting career in media studies, where you could be part of a game like this? Check out the opportunities in TV, radio, and sports promotions at Iowa Western. Visit iwcc.edu. Iowa Western. The world is waiting. Showed up at Kinnick Stadium tonight. Didn't see the sign on the ticket window that said this is a no defense game.
Well, it hasn't been so far. The only defensive play that's really been made was when North got the turnover on downs, but Keyser had an open receiver in the end zone. He just overthrew it. So I don't know if you can give too much credit to the defense.
And they had a touchdown taken off the board on that legal man downfield when they went for it on 4th down. 8:43 to go here in the first half. 37 points have already been scored. In 2 weeks,
going to have good field position after this deep kickoff.
In 2 weeks from tonight, the postseason begins. Another 15-yard penalty on North. Kickoff from the 25-yard line. You got to be careful here with all the speed in the back end for Bellevue West on a big return. John alluded to they're going to get good field position, but it's a kick fielded at the 25 by Betts. They'll return it for about 12 yards. Xavier Betts, top 60 player in the country, the class of 2020. We've got Betts and Ducker and Daly, Gray and Butler on the other side. Let you see their excitement level for their offers here in just a moment. Bellevue West now trailing for the first time tonight. They are back out on offense. Now can North get another stop? Because it doesn't appear that Bellevue West is able to stop North's offense right now. What a difference. We were here a month ago. North looks entirely different. Play action fake. Keyser to put it up. Deep down the sidelines, Daly's got an open lane again and makes the catch. He had a couple of steps on the defensive back who was not looking back for the ball, and Keyser dropped it right into the hands of Daly, and they are already into the red zone.
There was no trying to disguise this one with the double move.
52-yard pass. We're going to break records tonight in the passing game.
Daly just said, I'm going to run by you, and Keyser again threw it as far as he could, and Daly ran under it. No play action in the backfield, and Keyser heaves it. T-Bird's in business again.
Empty backfield. They're looking to respond quickly. Now Ducker hops into the sidecar with his quarterback, and now carries it around the end. Stops, starts, dives forward to about the 7-yard line before he is brought down by DeAnthony Cribbs, who is a much improved defender on this North Viking roster. Second down and 6. Bellevue West can get a first down. It would be at the 1-yard line. They're thinking 6. A different type of 6. A little shovel pass to Ducker. He eluded the tackle and maybe gets a yard. Oh, that could have been blown up in the backfield as racing in was Avion Barnes, but Ducker sidestepped him, but was only able to get a yard on the little shuffle pass.
And it's just a little chest pass out there. We see that happen as the runner comes in motion sometimes. Don't really see it a lot on the flare pattern, but that was interesting.
Here's Ducker in the Wildcat, calls his number, and he sees the end zone for a touchdown. Ducker on the 3rd down carry puts Bellevue West on top.
All right, guys, let's go.
Such a great talent out of the backfield. How do you stop him out of the Wildcat? He scored out of the Wildcat, throwing the ball so far tonight, and now running it in for a touchdown. Again, Bellevue West for another time going for 2.
Illegal substitution penalty called on Bellevue West. They had too many men when they broke the huddle.
Push him back 5 yards. 22-21.
This would give them a field goal advantage if they convert here. Two
touchdowns, 2 two-point passes that have been converted. Is this a 3rd here? It is not. Keyser was under pressure and he threw it over the head of Ducker. So it's a 1-point lead for Bellevue West after the touchdown run by Ducker. We'll get a look. The talented junior who put it into the end zone once again on the ground. 22-21. Bellevue West leads North in the 2nd quarter on Game Time.
You're watching Game Time on YourView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out YourView.com.
Here's to the do-gooders. They're the early risers, the selfless, the forward thinkers, the brave. There are many ways to describe them. We call them family. CHI Health. Good happens here.
You're watching Game Time on YourView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out yourview.com.
(22-21), Bellevue West leads Omaha North. Javon Ducker touchdown run. Iowa Western has the career choices that fit your busy schedule. Come to campus, study online, or enroll in evening classes now. Visit iwcc.edu. Iowa Western, the world is waiting. 43 points now combined. North has scored on every possession. We've just had one possession tonight that did not result in a touchdown. And that is when North turned Bellevue West over on downs after a pass was incomplete in the end zone. It's the kind of night it's been. This is kind of fun. Next to last week of the regular season. There'll be a flag on North. You saw right there on your screen on the return by Barnes. Block in the back. And some more barking, chirping, saying, how you doing? Haven't seen you in a while on the sideline. Players pushed away. We'll see the penalty called on North. North 4-3. They've won 3 in a row. They started the year 1-3 against a difficult schedule. They had Prep, Millard West, Omaha, Burke, all in the first month. It's a good night to lip read. Penalty that will start North in a little bit of a hole here, but on their previous touchdown that resulted in the Xander Gray touchdown run, they started at the 13-yard line.
They've done it from all over. I mean, 3 drives, 3 touchdowns, and have really seen little to no resistance from this T-Bird defense. They have done kind of whatever they wanted to do. They've thrown the ball, they've run it up the middle, they've run it outside. And there's been largely nobody home for Bellevue West.
So this drive will start at the 12-yard line. And with a little bit of balance, the I formation, Xander Gray back into the game. Houston Fogelstrom, the second-year starter, hands it off to Gray, and he is going nowhere. For the first time tonight, he's stacked up at the line of scrimmage, led by Tyler Cheney.
Yeah, Cheney's a big body down there, 355 pounds. He's one of the only big bodies they have down there on the defensive line. The 2 tackles are pretty big, but everybody else fairly small.
Cheney at 6 foot, he's a junior. We've kind of been talking now 8 weeks into this season. The sophomores and juniors that are playing key roles in the Metro and on Class A teams shows the future is bright.
A freshman after we saw what last week.
A lot of great development going on. But here's a senior who carries the ball, cuts to the outside. Well, he just makes people miss. He's dancing in the hole, and then a late flag as he's tackled out of bounds. So tack 15 onto that is Xander Gray. That could have ended, John, in the backfield for a loss, but he was able to skate his way to the outside, get extra yards, and now the 15 tacked on.
Well, we've made a comparison to one Pittsburgh Steelers running back already tonight, and the other one that we're going to talk about is Xander Gray, looking like Jerome Bettis, the big body with the good feet. Watch him go here. One cut, jump cut, shoulder shake with the jump cut. You just don't get big guys that can do that very often. That's a special thing.
Little known fact, Xander was the best dancer at the North Homecoming Dance. Football doesn't work out for him, and he's got a couple of FCS offers. He might show up on a local version of Dancing with the Stars. Here, he just bowls his way to the 35-yard line. Maybe a yard pickup. Big Tyler Cheney is in there once again. John, you said 355. Today he's 360. Coach Huffman. But it doesn't matter. We saw him against Papio South. For as large as he is, he has some great vertical quickness.
He does.
His hands and his explosion at the point of attack, very impressive for the junior. Gray will carry it again, and he is hammered down on a big stop by Jalen Powell.
Jalen Powell coming all the way over from the backside end.
And Gray is still down after the tackle at the 35-yard line.
He got pushed into the turf pretty hard. It was one of those body weight tackles that we hear so much about these days in the NFL, and Xander Gray took one right there.
22-21. Bellevue West has gone back on top. As you see, walking over to the sidelines, Powell. Last year, he only played 7 games, suffered a knee injury. Boy, he was on an all-state pace. He had 21 tackles for loss. The low man Bird held Gray up, and then Powell came from behind and cleaned it up. Gray, coming off the field, appears to be okay.
I just got the wind knocked out.
Now it's 3rd down and 9. Vogelstrom looks to his right where he has 2 wide receivers at the top of your screen. They will run it with Fairgood Jones, and he is tackled by Bird. What a great fill in the gap by Logan Bird to make the tackle on Fairgood Jones, and we'll have our first punt of tonight.
Well, that was just a good defensive play right there by Logan Bird, because if he doesn't make that tackle, Fairgood Jones has a first down and probably a lot more. Great stop by Logan Bird. Watch this right here. The hole opens up and Bird just cuts under his man. He beats the tight end to the spot and makes the play.
Senior linebacker, a solid season, 50+ tackles. A fair catch called for by Keegan Johnson, whose father is Clester Johnson, the outstanding Bellevue West athlete who went on to play football at Nebraska. Those national championship teams in the 90s. So Bellevue West with a 1-point lead, 4:33 to go in the first half, will take over at the 26-yard line. They've regained the lead, and now their defense is forced to stop. Bellevue West had a game earlier this year against crosstown rival Bellevue East that scored 81 points. They average 56 a game. Keyser to put it up. Betts open, goes up and makes the catch. Tough to defend somebody that's 6'3". He high points the ball, and another big pass play for the T-Birds.
I think he's grown. I think Xavier Betts is about 6'4" at this point in his junior year, and he's a guy that, you know, he's almost never covered. Even when the defender's right next to him, he has such great leaping ability and that tremendous reach advantage that you throw it high enough and he can get it and the defender can't.
The class of 2020, he's listed as the 10th best wide receiver in the country. 59th best prospect. 4-star wide receiver who was playing on the varsity at 14 years old as a timeout is taken on the field. Taken by Omaha North. And let's take a look at the recruiting going on for the likes of Xavier Betts and the Bellevue West program that has had a lot of these guys over the last 4 or 5 years. South Dakota State was the first to offer him. And Matt Campbell at Iowa State. He's been on a visit to Ames. PJ Fleck has become his best friend, or PJ would like to feel that way. Purdue making an offer. Purdue actually has also offered Javon Ducker, and then Iowa. Nebraska in there as well. The previous staff at Nebraska, led by Mike Riley, they were the first to make an offer to Xavier Betts, and Scott Frost, who is now in his first year as the head coach at Nebraska, looking for his first victory. They have followed up with the interest in Xavier Betts, the junior wide receiver, who just hauled into that catch, put the ball out at the 45-yard line.
Yeah, and the insider says he really likes Nebraska, but Minnesota putting the full court press on right now.
The Bellevue West offense mimics what Nebraska does, or would like to do in the future when they have the right personnel. Up tempo, throw it around the yard, pump fake again, going deep, this time well in front of Betts. He was held up a little bit, better defensive back play on that route. And it will be 2nd down and 10. Not a bad play call after you just had a big play to go for it deep again with Betts.
Well, it's just not it's not the best throw from Keyser. As you see, it's another double move, and Betts tries to run past the defender. The throw is too far inside, and Tyree Stovall had good position.
Keyser 3rd in Class A, passing yards per game, 195. He runs it here and not very far. He's hauled down from behind by Avion Barnes. That'll be a loss of about a yard. So now it's going to be 3rd down and 11. We've had one punt here in the first half. It just happened for North. Can the Vikings force Bellevue West into a punt? And also keep in mind, Mike Huffman goes for it a lot on 4th down. 22-21, Bellevue West 7-0, number 2 in the state, behind Omaha Burke, who has been in the number 1 slot all season long. Big 3rd down and 11, and Bellevue West will put it up. There is a flag down after the catch by Betts again, but let's hold on. The flag thrown in the area of holding, and that is what the call is. So another positive play taken off the board for Bellevue West due to a penalty.
And that one stings. 65 yards in penalties now for Bellevue West. And you have a big 3rd down conversion right there, and now you're going to march back and try to do it all over again. 10-yard holding penalty on 3rd and 10. That's not what you want to see.
Again, 2nd straight year, Bellevue West has gotten off to a 7-0 start as we get a look at the hold.
Yeah, right there, just hooked the hip.
So that'll push Bellevue West all the way out to the 31-yard line. And it'll be 3rd and 90th Street, which is one of the main thoroughfares, not very far away from Northwest High School, where we're at Kinnick Stadium here tonight. Kinnick lived for a year in Omaha, played at Omaha. Benson Keezer's got a lot of time, and then not much. He held on to the ball way too long, and Emar Vincent came in and said, "I agree with you, Mr. Sharp," and takes down the quarterback at a big loss. And now it'll be 4th down, and Bellevue West will be forced to punt, and North down a point will have really good field position.
And Keezer's going to have about 4.5 seconds back here, and the ball's just got to come out because Vincent, he gets the early double team, but gets inside, and then those long arms, he's not letting go.
Keezer is also the punter, rugby-style kick. Caught at the 39 by Fairgood Jones. He's got some space. He dipsy-doos and cuts to the outside across midfield and to the 45. And a good positive return by North. But I want to go back to Vincent. Boy, does he have a great body as a pass rusher. Right. 6'6", 210, those long arms, which you've seen already a couple of times tonight.
Yeah, it's that Randy Gregory body type that if you've watched Nebraska football, you're familiar with that name. And long and skinny and able to bend and flex in ways that those offensive linemen can't.
A line from a famous movie, Are You Not Entertained? We will ask you. 22-21, 2:37 to go in the first half. Can North go back on top as they start from the 45-yard line of the Thunderbirds? A toss to Gray. Gray's to the outside. He's got the legs to turn, the feet to remove it, and he is tugged down just outside of the 20-yard line. Toy Miller, who at 200 pounds was holding on to the big running back, Xander Gray, who checks in at about 230. Held him up long enough, and then he hit the boundary for a big pickup of 23 yards.
Yeah, he's just so tough to bring down. Runs with such authority. Big stiff arm right there. And then gives it to Toy Miller, but Toy Miller able to hang on for dear life.
Just imagine last year, John, North had Milton Sarbaugh and Xander Gray coming at you. 14 carries, 113 yards now for Xander Gray. This is Fairgood Jones. There is a flag that is down. Fairgood Jones finally is brought down, but this play is going to come back.
And it is going to be a hold on Omaha North. Seen two offenses that are pretty dynamic, but have had their share of troubles with the penalties here tonight.
So the penalty wipes out a big gain by Trayon Fairgood Jones.
And that's 50 yards in penalties now for Omaha North. So 50 and 65 between the two of them in the first half.
Wide open game, non-district, week 8, but there are a lot of playoff seeding implications resting on this contest. So both teams are going to win their district, so they're going to make the postseason. Bellevue West has made the playoffs every year since 2003. North has made it at least to the semifinals for 6 straight years. Here's the toss to Gray. Not much room up front. Jack McDonald, who had a pick 6 the last time Bellevue West was on Game Time, leads the charge to bring down the big running back.
This is where it gets tough for this offense, and we've seen them be effective throwing the ball tonight, but when they get in long yardage situations, they have tended to struggle this season.
Fogelstrom to put it up. Now he's chased out of the pocket, steps up, throws it deep towards the end zone into double coverage, and it is incomplete. Boy, there was a hand battle going on downfield as knocking the ball away was Spahn, but he was tugging on Jalen Foster, the intended wide receiver. It almost seemed like the whole route down the field. It's a one receiver route, and Fogelstrom's got one option. He can either throw it or get tackled, and he chose throw it. And we're going to get a look at the replay, and Fogelstrom's going to take a pretty big lick. See him rolling, rolling, rolling. Pow. Takes the shot from Jaden Roberts. 3rd down and 21. Give the ball to Gray on the toss. And there's a flag late. Powell with the tackle, and he may have brought Gray down via the face mask. Gray is still down after that 3rd down carry. Gray grabbing onto his face mask as they'll try and sort out the penalties. Larry Martin, a Seneca, Illinois native, now the head coach of North in his 19th year, walks out to look at his star running back. Last year, North 12-1. Bellevue West went 9-2. They got up to that 7-0 start, but then they went 2-2 the rest of the way. We saw their season come to an end in the 2nd round against Omaha Creighton Prep on their home field. So Gray's still down as they try and sort out this penalty. It was thrown right after Powell brought Gray down with 1:28 to go in the first half. 22-21 Bellevue West. It has been back and forth. And you just hope it's not a head injury for Gray. It's going to be a 15-yard penalty. And now Gray is sitting up. Now they're going to march the ball back. They've not signaled yet what the official call is, and Larry Martin's talking to the official and saying, my guy got poked inside of the face mask. Been a rough 2nd quarter for Xander Gray. He had to come out of the game earlier after he took a hard fall on the turf, and now he comes off the field with a slow limp. Coach is talking to him. Face mask penalty on Bellevue West. The 15-yard variety. So North is just outside of the red zone again. I didn't see it.
Will be down 3rd down and 6 for the Vikings after the penalty.
Not a lot of outcry from the Bellevue West sideline. 1:24 to go. North has 2 timeouts remaining. Now the clock is running. The offense was assembled over on the sidelines. They got to hustle out. There is no visible play clock on field level here at Kinnick Stadium, unlike Foundation Field where we were last week. Fairgood Jones, the toss in the backfield, looked like he stumbled a little bit, and he maybe gets a yard. And we're under a minute to go now. Larry Martin, when will he use his 2 timeouts? They're taking a lot of time.
Yeah, certainly not being quick about it at all. They have timeouts remaining.
And now Larry Martin in the picture
strange.
will take the timeout. So they let the clock go all the way down to 29 seconds. Their place kicker, Jared Venner, very rarely attempts a field goal.
Well, it's about 38 from here.
Larry Martin was at Fremont Bergen for 10 years before taking over at North. He's got a few alums that have gone on to play football at Iowa Western, including current running back Milton Sarbaugh, who was the star of last year's state championship team. And Those Reavers are back in action this season. You can follow Iowa Western's championship sports teams, including football and volleyball, at GoReavers.com. Iowa Western, the world is waiting. The Iowa Western football team, number 3 in the junior college rankings. They are home tomorrow. It is homecoming in Council Bluffs at Council Bluffs Lewis Central High School. They take on Independence Community College. And they will now attempt a field goal. Jared Venner. Officially, it will be a 39-yard field goal to put North on top. The kick is up, and the kick is good from 39 yards, just over the crossbar.
Well, there you go. Run the clock down, and field goal kicker knocks one through. Got yourself a lead with 24 seconds before the break.
Did not see that one coming.
Certainly didn't. I thought for sure that Larry Martin would elect to go for it. He's not one for kicking field goals very much this season, and got one there.
Now, I'm wondering if maybe the strategy changed a little bit with the injury to Gray and not having him for the rest of the first half. But they put the hopes on the right foot of senior place kicker Jared Venner, and from 39 yards, he puts the Vikings back on top, 24-22. Now, John, I asked the question because there are a lot of our viewers at home are asking the same thing. Did you leave too much time on the clock?
If you left a second, it might be too much time.
Coming up at halftime, we'll have the pageantry from senior night here at Kinnick Stadium for the North Vikings. Get some stats, some analysis. Glenn Sisk, our statistician tonight, is working overtime. He's crunching the numbers. Plus, we will break down what Class A looks like when it comes to the playoffs that begin 2 weeks from tonight. John will tell you how the point system works. You might want to grab a pad and pen and take notes.
Also, you'll need a graphing calculator for this exercise.
Betts is going to be able to return this kickoff. He slips a little bit at the 9. Now cuts it back. Has some blockers in front. Now cuts to the outside. Another cut, and he's tripped up. Coming in to make the special teams tackle, Tyree Stovall. Betts, with those long strides, would have been racing down the sidelines. So 15 seconds to go for Bellevue West. We know Mike Huffman a little bit. Mike Huffman probably is not going to sit on it here.
No, he's not one for sitting on anything. They're definitely going to try to score.
24-22. North leads Bellevue West. A couple plays left here in the first half. Screen to Ducker. Not going anywhere. Read well by the defense of North. Anthony Cribbs on the tackle.
Yeah, it's a great job by Cribbs to stay home and not get sucked in by the play fake and get too far upfield.
And a great first half for Omaha North. Their season has turned around. They've won 3 in a row, and they'll go to the locker room up 24-22 on unbeaten Bellevue West as Larry Martin with some positive words for his team. What a second half we will have, but not before we have an entertaining first half. We'll try and recap this exciting first 24 minutes. 24-22, North leads Bellevue West at the break on Game Time.
The Gigablast Halftime Show, powered by Cox, is presented by Iowa Western, the world is waiting, and by Cox Business Security. Join us all fall long for some of the top high school football from around the country on Game Time. For in-depth interviews, behind-the-scenes coverage, recruiting updates, and more, be sure to visit yourview.com, your home for high school football.
Okay. It's decision time. I want to experience a 4-year college in 2 years. I want to live on campus but get to my career faster. I want to get started now. Find your path at iwcc.edu and get hands-on, real-world experience. Start now at Iowa Western.
You're the decision maker. weighing every option to make the smartest choice. That's why you start with Nebraska Medicine, an entire network of top providers working together to keep you healthy. From extraordinary primary care to world-leading research and treatments, so you can be confident everyone's health is in good hands. The state's most comprehensive care in 19 locations. Nebraska Medicine.
It starts with a hardwood fire, creating embers that produce just the right amount of heat. Delicious food prepared fresh from scratch. From an open kitchen, entrees that satisfy every palate. Wood-fired to perfection. Experience flavors like no other. Timber Wood Fire Bistro, Countryside Village.
You're watching Game Time on YourView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out yourview.com.
Beautiful night for football. Even more appealing if you're a North fan. They lead number 2 Bellevue West 24-22. Look at the North Band. It's senior night here at Kinnick Stadium, and it's not only look at the band. Let's listen to the pride of Omaha North, the Marching Vikings. Highlights of an entertaining first half. Next, 24-22 at the break. North leads Bellevue West on Game Time.
Schedule your campus visit today. Iowa Western. The world is waiting.
Cities fall, heroes rise.
A heartbeat skips as a man slips gravity's grip, and heartbreak leaps from the brink in a blink. Just think of all the games, teams, hopes, and dreams that live and die because greatness lies in the blink of an eye. This is the sports app on Contour from Cox. Cable TV reimagined to get you right to the good stuff.
Tonight's Game Time Player of the Game is brought to you by Iowa Western. The world is waiting. Check out the stories behind the games all season long. Visit yourview.com.
The last two Class A state champions. Bellevue West 2 years ago, Omaha North last year. They are putting on a show. 46 points combined in the first 24 minutes. Let's look at how we got there, John.
Well, we started off with a trick play. Javon Ducker out of the Wildcat finds his classmate Xavier Betts, and the T-Birds were off and running on their first possession. First touches for the Vikings. Treon Fairgood Jones, he would take it in from 28 yards out. And it was 8-7 at that point. Then Keyser loads one up on the double move. Shane Daly all alone for the big score, and another two-point conversion made it 16-7. North had a little passing game of their own in that first quarter. Bryant Wesson snares one from Houston Fogelstrom from 42 yards, and it's 16-14. Look at the air into that ball from Fogelstrom. Wesson able to make the snag in a tight first quarter that ended 16-14. MWS was stopped on downs. And Integray said bye-bye. Omaha North took their first lead of the night at 21-16, but Bellevue West wasn't done yet. Ron Ducker takes it in. The two-point conversion would fail to make it 22-21. And then just before the break, Jared Venner from 39 just sneaks one through. Omaha North with a surprising halftime.
Look at these numbers. 280 total yards for the playmakers in purple. 280 total yards for the defending Class A champions. Lots of penalties, lots of yards, lots of entertainment, but 237 yards passing by Bellevue West. A lot of those are big chunk plays.
Yeah, and the North DBs have been getting beat over the top a bunch. They're not underneath. They're not throwing it underneath and letting them go. It's Keyser throwing it over everyone's head, and then wide receiver in all white running underneath it. And that's what it's been for much of the first half. And if you're Bellevue West, you got to be real disappointed about how you played the run. 176 yards given up in the first half. Mike Huffman's going to tell you that's not good enough.
24-22. North trying to hand Bellevue West their first loss of the season, but we still have 24 minutes of football to come from Kinnick Stadium. Back with more at halftime. It's Game Time on Your View.
You're the decision maker, weighing every option to make the smartest choice. That's why you start with Nebraska Medicine, an entire network of top providers working together to keep you healthy. From extraordinary primary care to world-leading research and treatments, so you can be confident everyone's health is in good hands. The state's most comprehensive care in 19 locations. Nebraska Medicine.
Hi, I'm Van Deeb. I've been in the real estate business for over 35 years, helping buyers and sellers all over Omaha. Now I have a new, exciting, innovative program that will help you sell your house fast and get cash in your pocket in just 7 days with no fees, no inspections, and no repairs. If I don't buy it, I'll sell it for you. It's that simple. Just check it out at DeebBuysHousesFast.com. That's DeebBuysHousesFast.com.
It starts with a hardwood fire, creating embers that produce just the right amount of heat. Delicious food prepared fresh from scratch. From an open kitchen, entrees that satisfy every palate. Wood-fired to perfection. Experience flavors like no other. Timber Wood Fire Bistro, Countryside Village.
This is Rose. Rose was destined to be different, to be a small business owner. She chose Cox Business because we're different too. We got to know Rose. And while she likes to take risks in the kitchen, we made it easy to keep an eye on safety. It's just another way we do business differently. Cox Business Security Solutions.
Lots of offense, little defense. But there are a lot of offensive talent on the field, and they have showed up and shown out on game time tonight. 24-22. North leads Bellevue West. 2 weeks from tonight, the playoffs begin. Both of these teams would have home field advantage. They would be in the top 8 of the 16. But North looking to improve on their seeding. Bellevue West looking to maintain. John, I'll let you, because you've been doing this year after year, explain how the point system works in the state of Nebraska.
So teams get classified into divisions by their win-loss record. And based on what division the team you're playing is in, that's how you get your playoff points. So you see it there. If you win over a top division team, you get the full 50. If you lose to them, you get 36. And then it goes on down the line decreasingly with the victory and loss points. So you might beat a Division I team in week 3 who's 3-0, but if they lose out the rest of the way, they could end up in 4th division. And what you thought was a 50-point win might end up being a 4th division win, and you lose 9 points throughout the course of the season. So until the end of the season, when all the records are finalized, nothing is actually for certain.
That's why late Friday night next week, you do all the math and try and figure out who won here, who's playing there, and then Saturday morning it's released. So that's how it works. And right now, in terms of the district champions and the points, this is what the bracket looks like. You got to win 3 games to make it to Memorial Stadium on that Monday night. Road to the Class A state championship, which both of these programs have driven as fast as they can for the last 2 years. But it is bracketed 1 against 16, just how you would do a 16-team bracket. But one thing that has changed, started last year, is if you are the top seed, you remain at home. It's not you have a home game week 1, you win, oh, you got to go on the road because you're playing against a team that also was on the road. No, the higher seed is always the home team. That's been new to Class A, and that was a great change last year.
Yeah, I agree. It's a fantastic change because you had some ridiculous scenarios that came up where a team had to go on the road to play a 3-win team. It just should never happen in the playoffs.
Let's look at the district standings here quickly. Omaha North is going to win District 1, so they will get the automatic berth. You also will probably get Lincoln Southeast and Papillion La Vista South out of that district as a state playoff team. Let's look at District number 2. Bellevue West is going to win that district. Pius X looks like the only other playoff team out of that district.
Yeah, Pius is certainly still alive, but need to finish strong.
We move to District 3 of the 6. Lincoln Southwest, Lincoln High. Lincoln High, who has had prolific offense, took Bellevue West to overtime in week number 1. Southwest and High should make it. Southwest is going to be a top 8 seed at Lincoln High as well. Kearney, who made it to the final last year, lost to North. They're going to have to fight to get in. Millard West is actually number 1 in points right now. They beat Grand Island last week, so Millard West and Grand Island look like they are in out of District 4.
Lincoln East, one of those bubble teams.
And Omaha West Side, one of the 3 unbeatens in Class A. They are right there with Millard South. That's the toughest district in Class A. West Side South, Prep, Elkhorn South, all should make the postseason. And West Side has already beaten Prep. Tonight, Millard South and Prep are facing off against each other.
4 teams out of that district we'll see in the playoffs.
And then in District 6, Burke and North are playing tonight. You saw Millard North last week. Millard North has won 3 in a row. Can they pull the upset tonight? That's the way they will have to do it to get into the postseason. So it looks like Burke, really right now, the only guaranteed team out of District 6. These 2 teams are going to win their district. Who's going to win this game? North leads Bellevue West 24-22. When you return, it's the start of the third quarter. What will the second half do for us? You know what the first half did. It's game time on your
Here's to the do-gooders. They're the early risers, the selfless, the forward thinkers, the brave. There are many ways to describe them. We call them family. CHI Health. Good happens here.
Now at H&H, Factory Direct Clearance Pre-Owned. As a new car dealer, we get access to Factory Direct used vehicles before the public. And we just got a shipment at all 3 locations. Visit hhautomotive.com and click Factory Direct to see them all. Deals like this 2017 Camry, only $16,000. We're passing the savings on to you at all 3 H&H locations. Or shop online, hhautomotive.com.
You're the decision maker, weighing every option to make the smartest choice. That's why you start with Nebraska Medicine, an entire network of top providers working together to keep you healthy. From extraordinary primary care to world-leading research and treatments, so you can be confident everyone's health is in good hands. The state's most comprehensive care in 19 locations. Nebraska Medicine.
Okay, it's decision time. I want to experience a 4-year college in 2 years. I want to live on campus but get to my career faster. I want to get started now. Find your path at iwcc.edu and get hands-on, real-world experience. Start now at Iowa Western.
Tonight's Game Time Play of the Game is brought to you by Cox Business Security. Check out the stories behind the games all season long. Visit yourview.com.
Okay.
Full court defense.
Set for the start of the second half. What a response by North. We know about the Bellevue West offense. Now we know about the resurgence of Omaha North, currently on a 3-game winning streak. And it seems like, John, it's this time of the year, and Larry Martin, whether they are the #1 team in the state or not, he gets them ready to play their best football, and that's what we're seeing out of the North Vikings. And up by 2 after that 39-yard field goal by Jared Venner at the end of the first half, the Vikings will get the football to begin the third quarter.
Yeah, this might be a big possession for this Bellevue West defense that hasn't really shown any ability outside of the one punt to slow down North on the ground. 176 first half rushing yards for the Vikings.
And the kickoff, Avion Barnes will take it at the 15, fumbled a little bit, picked it up. And he will get back to the 20-yard line before Gannon Spahn threw him down. Here come the Vikings. We will see kind of the plan of action on offense here in the second half. We saw a big dose of Xander Gray, 15 carries, 114 yards in the first half. When Fogelstrom had to throw the ball, he was successful. We will see if they ask him to throw it a little bit more.
Well, they've been throwing the ball down the field. They haven't really attempted a short pass yet. They've just been chucking it deep.
They will toss it to Xander Gray. Gray breaks one tackle, cuts the outside with a stiff arm, and he's got a first down as he runs out of bounds to the 32-yard line. Pick up at 12 on the first carry. Looking for a new career? Explore our programs in business, health, and technology. Get going today on your career path by visiting iwcc.edu. Iowa Western, the world is waiting. So they'll give him 13 yards. Len Sisk, our statistician, is tugging on my arm. He said, give him an extra yard for the big fella. He's got 127. He's already run for in a game this year. 197 against Papio South. The fake The pass incomplete. Steven Krawcheck, who is starting at tight end because of an injury, not make the catch. Ezra Judson, the normal starting tight end for North, is out of the lineup tonight.
Better throw from Fogelstrom if you got a 25-yard gain, probably. Krawcheck was all alone. Entire Bellevue West defense bit on the fake pitch. Just got to deliver a better ball.
North, their 3 losses this year. They lost by 5 to Prep, 14 to Millard West, and 17 on Game Time to Burke. And this carry is going nowhere, and it is going to set up a 3rd down and long. As coming out of the fray with the football is big Tyler Cheney.
Well, there you go. It's that man once again, Logan Bird, getting there, blowing up the fullback and creating a pile, allowing the rest of the defense to flow. Logan Bird, last couple of series on defense, has played really well.
Settle in on 3rd down and 11. Fogelstrom under center. 3-step drop, pump fake, pressure from behind. He goes down, the ball is loose. It's still on the turf, and it is recovered by Bellevue West. A strip sack. A turnover by North, and Bellevue West gets the football at the Viking 24-yard line. And we'll get a look at Fogelstrom, who never saw the back pressure coming.
Well, and Xander Gray just kind of stepped up and didn't really look to pick up the outside rush.
Jack McDonald, who likes playing on Game Time, forces the fumble, the recovery. Now Bellevue West, who is always a play away from scoring, they're looking to the end zone here. And it is a touchdown. Keyser to Betts on the first play after the turnover, 24 yards, and the Thunderbirds are on top.
That's called quick change defense, and it is really hard to do, to play it well. When you give up a turnover and then your defense has to rush out onto the field unexpectedly, that's when teams like to take shots, and there's a reason for that, because they often work.
Another 2-point conversion attempt and a fake end around. Betts is on the pylon. No replay in high school. The official was knocked down. It looked like Betts may have tiptoed inside of the pylon as he made contact. Fortunately tonight, because of the weather, we don't have our pylon cam, but let's get another look at this.
A little Statue of Liberty action. Betts coming around. Does he break the plane?
Oh,
it's awful close. You can't really see it from that angle, but it's close.
That was...
Glenn says no.
A very good call by the referee, who had gone down, and the 2-point conversion is denied. But on the quick change after the North turnover, you're going to get a look at the touchdown that has put Bellevue West up 28-24.
It's a roll, another shoulder fake, and Betts gets behind the defender. Double moves have been working tonight.
237 passing yards at halftime. Tack on another 24. And the senior signal caller, who Mike Huffman has known since he was in junior high. Huffman not happy with the official. You saw he reached into his back pocket to get the name of the official that he wanted to say something to. He thought that Betts was in. Glenn Sisk, who is our viewer of the replay, said no.
Our official replay consultant,
yes,
as well as statistician.
Would he be double dipping tonight?
Let's see if we can get it on this angle.
Okay, this is on the 2-point conversion right here.
Nah, it looks like he's short.
Yeah. All right, we like Glenn. Now North, can they respond? They turned it over, gave up a touchdown on the first play. David Jones, jitterbugs to the outside, and a good return, good field position. It's 28-24. We've gone back and forth all night. Bellevue West, it has not happened very much this year that they've been challenged late into games. They had the opener against Lincoln High that went to overtime. And then they had, going into the fourth quarter, a tight one with Pius X. Outside of that, nada. They won by 55 against Omaha South, 35 over Norfolk. They won that game over Pius X by 21. They beat Elkhorn South by 35. They beat Papillion La Vista South right here on Game Time by 35. Fogelstrom back to work. Play action fake. Turns around, keeps it himself, and now he races down the sidelines. What a play call. What a response by North.
Hey, how about Fogelstrom? He's got some wheels. I want to work some QB run game with him. That was a good run by the young man.
32 yards to be exact, John.
Good fake, hides the ball well. Gets outside. Beats Matt Thompson to the corner. Nice run.
Now they've moved it back to the 49-yard line, so not 32. But that's only the 16th carry by Fogelstrom. He had 15 carries for negative 72 yards.
Yeah, most of those are sacks.
The toss to Gray. Gray still on his feet. He's running over people, and now he's got room. And he's got the end zone in his sights. Touchdown. 51 yards. How many Thunderbirds touched Gray as he left them prone on the field and takes it into the end zone, and North goes back on top. Are you kidding me?
They knew we were coming, Gary. They wrote us a good script. This is stranger than fiction.
Everyone's having fun tonight. I could say everyone Wang Chung, except for defensive coordinators. Venner's PAT is good. And North now leads 31-28. Let's get a look at Xander Gray's second touchdown run of the night.
It's a toss that he cuts back, and there's 2, 3, 4 broken tackles on the way to the end zone. Xander Gray with another big touchdown.
Xander Gray now, if you are scoring at home, 18 carries, 177 yards.
Well, how about the start of the second half? Started much the same way the game did, with just each team exchanging touchdowns.
At halftime, it was 24-22. We've now played 1 minute and 34 seconds of the second half, and we've had 2 scores. Again, week 8 last year, Bellevue West and Westside played a game that was 73-62. Now, we have slowed up on trying to chase that, but I don't know that any of us on the crew, when we got together before the game and everybody kind of chimed in their picks on what was going to happen, we would have said, hey, with 10:26 to go in the third quarter, we'd have 59 combined points and we'd be in a 3-point game.
Yeah, would have taken the under on that.
But what a response by North, because we know what Bellevue West can do on offense. We just saw it. North, they have very few times been denied tonight. They were denied on the turnover that led to the first score of the second half. They've had a punt one time. Now they're up 31-28 on a chilly night in northwest Omaha. Venner, 3 steps, and he boots the ball. Pops the kick up. Now picked up on a hop by Cheney, and he will not get back to the 20-yard line. Good kickoff coverage by Omaha North. Trayon Fairgood-Jones was down there. He's done a little bit of everything in all 3 phases tonight. Now Bellevue West, it's their turn to respond with 10:19 to go in the third quarter. Bellevue West, one of the 3 unbeatens in Class A, 7-0 along with Omaha Burke and Omaha Westside. But the Thunderbirds are being challenged here tonight. And that's when they have responded on offense. Again, they're 1 play away from a score.
Oh, yeah.
Tucker. Big collision at the 24-yard line.
You think of Ducker as more of an elusive back, but when I talked to him this week for the story that I wrote that's up on yourview.com, he said kind of likes to truck people too. He likes to drop the shoulder and run somebody over. Likes to play physical.
A fantastic family. He's a wonderful young man. Again, that story is up on yourview.com. 3.8 GPA, flag before the snap. His father was once clocked run a 40 at 4.39. Tristan, as we mentioned, his brother is at South Dakota.
That's where his father played football as well.
This is the hit near the sidelines, coming right near living room.
Oh yeah.
Boom.
Avion Barnes, Javon Ducker, hello. Keyser looking to put it up. Now, downfield, good coverage by North. These are chased out of bounds by Krachek.
Best coverage we've seen pretty much all night from that North back seven. They were sticking to the receivers tight and forced Keyser to run, and now brings up a big third down with 10 minutes to go.
Third down and about 8. North will rush 4. Play action. Under pressure. Looking downfield. Throws it downfield. Daly gets separation and makes the catch. And he's off to the races again. We've seen this before. And a third down conversion results in a 78-yard touchdown pass. But there is a referee with a flag out of his pocket. And a legal man downfield by Bellevue West. The second time that's happened tonight that has taken a touchdown off the board.
And the third time overall. It's the third ineligible receiver downfield for Bellevue West, and that is a big one. Everybody had already run down to celebrate the touchdown. And now they trot back. And they're going to face third down all over again after the scramble drill had worked out.
Let's watch the play. You're going to see more of Daly kind of turn it on the second gear to get separation. And
right at the top of your screen. And he gets too far downfield.
We've had a lot of penalties called tonight, but tip of the cap to this officiating crew. They have been right on top of it. So it is third down again. And it's third and a long ways. Third and maybe to Council Bluffs out of Northwest Omaha. Snap back under pressure and underthrows the intended wide receiver. So North comes up on defense and they'll force a punt.
That one's going to sting, and let's put a pin in that one right there. The penalty that calls back the touchdown, with North leading by 3.
John, I got a feeling late in the fourth quarter, when you're talking about those 2 touchdowns that have been taken off the board.
No doubt.
Because North isn't going away.
No. The Bellevue West defense has got to figure something out.
Keep an eye, because Keyser is the punt. And the snap is over his head. He collects it at the goal line, and he'll turn and he'll punt it away. And it is caught at the 30. What a wild play. Stovall just turned around and caught the punt. He didn't know it was coming. And North is set up with fantastic field position. That play kind of symbolizes the craziness that's gone on here tonight.
Wow. You're not even sure what to say about this one. Snap over Keyser's head. He collects it. Does what he can to get the kick away, and Stovall says, I'll have it.
It was like he looked up and there was the ball, and now the ball is sitting at the 21-yard line. Boy, this feels like a heavy dose of Xander Gray as North with a 3-point lead.
9 in the box for Bellevue West.
Gray reverses field, cuts to the outside, look into the end zone. The big fella's got another score.
Xander Gray, 20.
He has taken this team and put it on his back in this 3-game winning streak, and tonight he has lifted a whole football program, and he has brought them into the end zone again, and now North has their largest lead. Venner is out to make it 10.
And Gray's last 2 carries have netted 72 yards and 2 touchdowns.
And we still have 9:27 to go in the 3rd quarter. And it is now 38-28 in favor of the North Vikings, trying to hand Bellevue West their first loss of the year. Reversing field at 230 pounds. Oh, you never know.
He's got great feet. There's no doubt about it. You cringe a lot of times when you see running backs try to cut it all the way back across the field, but Gray has tremendous ability.
19 carries, 198 yards, 3 touchdowns. Interested in an exciting career in media studies? Check out the opportunities in TV, radio, and sports promotions at Iowa Western. Visit iwcc.edu. Iowa Western, the world is waiting. Mentioned football, home for Independence Community College tomorrow on homecoming. Ranked number 3 in the JUCO ranks. Volleyball number 2, women's soccer number 7. And congratulations to Scott Strohmeyer, 9th straight conference title and 8th straight Region 6 crown. Now 5-1 overall. Bellevue West, and they respond. Cheney working around blockers, and now Cheney's got some room, and Cheney's down the sidelines. There is a flag down at the 27-yard line. Is this another penalty that will wipe out a big pickup for Bellevue West?
I'm afraid it's coming back.
The Bellevue West sideline is irate on this call. Blocking the back on the return. And you look at Mike Huffman, the head coach at Bellevue West. He's just seething. 2 touchdowns taken off the board and a long kickoff return here. They'll march the Thunderbirds all the way back to the 20-yard line.
They got Keir, 31, with a block in the back, and the penalties have been a big problem for Bellevue West tonight. 11 penalties, 100 yards now taken off the board for Bellevue West. 2 big ones that have resulted in a loss of at least 12 points.
What a crazy game here tonight. Ducker breaks an arm tackle. Ducker's into the secondary, and Ducker is out to the 32, and that's a pickup of 15.
Now Ducker, you can't arm tackle him either because he is just so slippery. If you put an arm on him, he's going to break through it.
He's already visited Northern Illinois, Purdue, who has offered him along with South Dakota State. Unofficial to Notre Dame and Minnesota. He took his teammate Nate Sullivan along, and Xavier Watts from Omaha Burke to the Notre Dame-Stanford game a few weeks back. Here's Ducker once again. We'll get a heavy dose of number 8. And there is some extracurricular stuff going on down the field. Daly got into it with a Viking defensive back. Mason Braun pulls his teammate away. No flag. There's a rejuvenated North Viking team. And you're going to get a look here. This is behind a play. Daly pulls down Donovan Foster by the face mask. 2nd down and 6. Three-man rush for North. They'll bring pressure. Here comes Kronchik. Keyser back to pass, and now he's chased out of the pocket by Kronchik on the run. Keyser's got a lot of space in front of him and a step out of bounds up at the 44-yard line. That's a 1st down.
A good decision. He wanted to throw the ball to Betts down the field, but saw that he had enough room to pick up the first down and just keep the play alive. What you don't need right now, if you're Bellevue West, is to be turning the ball right back over to that North offense. You got to get some points on the board. I know it's only a 10-point deficit, but the way North has run the football tonight, you're going to need every chance you get to score.
Keep an eye on both sidelines are really, really yapping at each other. Intensity of this rivalry ratcheted up when Omaha North is up 10, trying to hand Bellevue West their first loss of the year. Play action fake. Keyser chased out of the pocket. Eludes one man, eludes another. Now on the run, throws it down the field, and it is caught. The catch by Nate Sullivan. He took it away from Fairgood Jones. Keyser just threw it up at a 50-50 ball, and what a play by the junior Nate Sullivan.
Well, this is a 500 ball, if you've ever seen one. It's a good fake in the backfield by Keyser to get some room, and then he just lobs it up and tells his man to go make a play, and Sullivan did it.
Sullivan is a promising prospect. Keyser throws it up again. This time he couldn't get some help from his wide receivers. He was looking for his favorite wide receiver, Betts, and again, you see this is happening now after every play. Officials are having to step in between the two teams. Well, there, our crowd mics are picking up a lot of stuff on the sidelines. These guys are into it. Full go with their play and some of the comments.
You know that when Xavier Betts is yapping, it is chippy.
He doesn't say much. North up 10, 7:19 to go in the third quarter. A scoring explosion has broken out at Kinnick Stadium. Keyser rolling out. Design quarterback run. He crashes into the Viking defender. They're going to mark him down at the 27. And again, Betts and Tyree Stovall are having all kinds of words. Then they have to be separated by the officials. These two are going at it for the second straight play. Betts was looking to block downfield. Stovall didn't like it as the Keyser came by, and Betts kept it going a little bit longer. That's what this game has turned into. 2 weeks from the night the playoffs begin. Keyser again, right up the middle, breaks a tackle. Called down at the 12-yard line. I think the play fake caught North off guard.
This is something that again, Mike Huffman said they were going to use. Now, they had so much success throwing the ball early that they haven't gone back to it, but here's Keyser running the football. Thought it would be a little bit of a surprise element that the North defense wouldn't expect them to do because they haven't shown it on tape.
Now a little bit of a shortened field. What does Mike Huffman elect to do? As you see, he's got wide open with his offensive talent. 2 wide receivers to the top, 2 to the bottom of your screen. Ducker is the lone man in the backfield. And now sprints out. And a play fake. And the quarterback is down to about the 7-yard line.
Yeah, it's a good decoy play with Ducker. He goes in motion out of the backfield. It looks like they're going to hit him on that quick flare. Keyser just pulls it down and goes the other way with it. The whole defense was flowing. It's a good pickup on first down.
Yeah, a little window dressing throws you off. That's what you can do when you have so many options. Good job of blocking up front by the offensive line. Now second down and 5. Again, Bellevue West is in a situation where they can get a first down. Ducker cutting to the outside. He has blockers on the edge. Can he get to the corner of the end zone? He dives for the pylon. Touchdown this time. Ducker is in.
He's so good. Just ridiculous athleticism by Javon Ducker.
And he lets North know that he just scored once again to bring his team within 4. With another 2-point conversion coming. We still have 5:25 to go in the third quarter. This to make it 38-36. Bellevue West was denied on their last 2-point attempt. Again, the crazy formation. What will come of it? Flip back to Keyser. Look into the end zone. Takes it himself. Did he get there? No, he absorbed a big hit right at the goal line. And now he's down, grabbing onto that left knee.
Oh, no.
He got hit at the goal line and then fell awkwardly. The two-point conversion denied, but that takes a back seat to the injury to the quarterback, who is down on the field, quickly attended to by both sides. The trainers for North immediately sprinted to the corner of the end zone, and then the Bellevue West trainers raced across. As Evan Kieser is down on the field, the two-point conversion denied after a 9-play, 83-yard drive that took 3:51 to bring the T-Birds within 4. That takes a lot of the life out of the stadium. Immediately grabbing onto his left knee. Now Mike Huffman, who has already seen one quarterback go down this year. That's why Kieser is starting. And here we look at the hit to deny the two-point conversion. Levon. Quarterback remains down on the field. A sign of sportsmanship. Cheerleaders and players are taking a knee as well. Take a timeout. Omaha North 38, Bellevue West 34. 5:25 to go in the third quarter. What a night offensively it has been. But now one of the offensive leaders is down for Bellevue West. We're back after this. It's game time on Your View.
Here, baby, let's get it. Whoa!
Here's to the do-gooders. They're the early risers, the selfless, the forward thinkers, the brave. There are many ways to describe them. We call them family. CHI Health. Good happens here.
That is the Bellevue West section. And there's a lot of concern because Evan Kieser, the starting quarterback for Bellevue West, is still down on the field. As you've seen in the replay, denied at the goal line on the two-point conversion attempt. And then as he planted his left knee, it awkwardly kind of went out from underneath of him. He is now sitting up. 38-34, and they'll take as much time as possible, and now he is to his feet. And he is up, and it's a really good sign here because he's walking on his own, as you see there in the picture.
He's putting weight on it, which is huge.
And boy, you look at that knee and the way he grabbed, and you heard his first reaction. That is and we don't know what's going to happen, but that's a great sign right there, because when we first saw it, we've seen enough of this, John. We looked at each other and we didn't think that he would get up, but now he's going to walk across the field. And the backup for Bellevue West is a freshman. What will Mike Huffman do? And he's still having conversations with the officials, and there was a lot of stuff on that drive that he was not happy with. It's right there. He's had enough now. He said his piece, and now he's walking away. His team is within 4 with 5:25 to go.
No, I think he's upset that 2 times they've had plays at the pylon where he thought his guy had gotten in, and the official on this near sideline has said no go.
There's the ensuing kickoff. Again, it's short, returnable for Fairgood Jones. He's up to the 26 before he is met with aggression by Jalen Powell.
And that's a good point made by Glenn Sisk. If those two-point conversions are called good, those plays at the goal line, this is a tie game.
There's also 2 touchdowns that have been taken off the board due to Thunderbird penalties. So it's North's turn to respond. Their 10-point lead has been cut to 4. Also respond from the emotional standpoint, because there is a lot of emotions that are overflowing verbally on the field as Bellevue West will take a timeout. 5:17 to go here in the third quarter. Seen a lot of Javon Ducker tonight. Again, a great story up on yourview.com. John had a chance to sit down with Javon the other day. But he will have some really intriguing choices next year on where he wants to go to college. He's a talented running back, but he also is fantastic in the classroom.
Yeah, he's spectacular in the classroom. And the Dakota schools love him. As you see, South Dakota State. He said the Purdue offer was kind of out of the blue. He wasn't expecting it. And they just
came last fall.
Just offered him, and then he's visited Iowa State. Just recently visited Notre Dame, and there's where his brother plays, and his father's alma mater, South Dakota. And there's the Notre Dame visit that he just recently took. But there's another school in the mix that's out west that you might know for academics, Stanford, that he just recently got a call from their assistant running backs coach, and they're sending him pieces of mail about every day.
Stanford, Nebraska, Northwestern with interest. He wants to be an anesthesiologist. Fulkerstrom completes a pass. He's been really good tonight in the passing game. It's a first down. He found his favorite wide receiver, Bryant Wesson.
Wesson's come up big tonight. He's been a big factor in the passing game. And when we saw this team earlier in the season, Gary, if you were playing wide receiver at North, you were the loneliest man on the planet.
Coming in tonight, North on average only 70 yards passing a game. But Fulkerstrom looks like the Fulkerstrom we saw last year in the playoffs. Toss to Gray. Gray breaks one tackle behind the line of scrimmage. Tried to cut it back, and then an ankle grab by Caden Hayes slowed up Gray, but not before he got 5 yards. He's now over 200 yards, 204 for Xander Gray. We still have 4:35 to go in the third quarter.
Xander Gray might be looking to crack 300 in this one. We saw Calvin Strong do it on a broadcast for North. It's been several years ago now, but
late flag as Fairgood Jones carried it into Bellevue West territory. We've had a lot of these tonight. We've had a lot of 15-yard penalties. This one is holding. March the Vikings back. Omaha North 4-3, currently ranked number 9 according to the World Herald. Bellevue West 7-0, and they've settled into the number 2 spot in the polls.
Well, now at 2nd and long, you'd expect we'll get another run here, and then you bring up the 3rd down, and it might be down to Fulkerstrom throwing the ball when they have to yet again.
Tight formation, 3-step drop, pass, caught, drop. It was in the pause and then out of the mitts.
And you see the disappointment.
That was a very catchable ball by Foster, and he had it for a moment and then dropped it. We're going to look at it again now. It's 3rd down and long.
And it would have brought up a 3rd and manageable situation too, as Fulkerstrom delivers this one just to the back shoulder, but it's got to be caught.
Usually sure-handed is Jalen Foster, one of the popular wide receivers on the pattern. 18 catches coming into tonight. Will they call his number again? Gray, the lone running back in the backfield. 3rd down and 17. The handoff to Gray, and Gray goes down. And there's a flag, and there's a flag, and there's another flag. Downfield after the stop by Jaden Roberts.
And they might get Keegan Johnson on this one.
Boy, and they have to get Xander Gray in your picture there away from the men in the purple helmets and the white jerseys. It'll be a crazy fourth quarter where Larry Martin for North and Mike Huffman for Bellevue West, you know, they got to manage their offense, defense, and special teams. They're going to have to manage the emotions. Now we'll see if this is offsetting. The carry was nowhere near a first down, so be fourth down. Could be one penalty, it could be two. And it's just on North.
Well, I thought the way Keegan Johnson was walking away from the play with his head down, I thought they were going to get him, but it was a North player who said something to draw the ire of the officials.
So this penalty will push North all the way back to their own 19-yard line. And it is fourth down.
Look here, Bellevue West brings pressure up the middle. And it looked like Xander Gray was going to jump by it, and if he gets past that initial tackle, he's gone.
An arm rip by Jaden Roberts just kind of slowed Gray a little bit, and then maybe he slipped on this turf. There are, if you're looking on your screen, you're wondering what is on the field here, the field turf. We'll tell you here in just a moment. Venner's punt, high end over end punt. And it will go out of bounds, and we're going to have a penalty flag. And this is going to be a special teams penalty on Bird of Bellevue West as the ball bounces out of bounds right at midfield. But on your picture here, yes, those are leaves. The trees that circle the field here, and the wind that has blown and all the rain we've received in Omaha, yeah, somebody needs to come out and rake the field here at Kinnick Stadium.
They have some teenagers around.
Since I'll play the role of Jim Cantori, we have a penalty called on Bellevue West. It's blocking the back. There is rain-snow mix headed to the Metro this weekend.
I don't like those words coming out of your mouth, Gary.
Middle of October.
It's a pretty blatant block in the back here. Just didn't need to do it. The punt's going out of bounds. You should never block a player when you can see their nameplate. That's fundamental football.
It was 24-22 at halftime. Yeah, somebody get out the rake or
Get your power leaf blower out there, Gary.
Seems like a great opportunity for one of our cameramen during the break between the third and fourth quarter. Ducker hit hard in the hole. Vincent came up as the new quarterback into the game. Evan Cleveland Jr. has played a little bit this year. When you're the backup quarterback at Bellevue West, even the third string quarterback, you do get a little time because of the blowouts. And now Cleveland is called upon. Evan Kaiser is out due to the knee injury. Hands it off to Ducker. That's a pretty good move if you're a quarterback into the game. Hand it off to Ducker, but now it'll be a third down and short situation as we near the 3-minute mark to go in the third quarter.
Well, when you've got Javon Ducker in the backfield next to you, and you've got guys like Daly Jr. and Betts on the outside, you should feel pretty comfortable coming into the game.
Now they go on third down and short. They go with the Wildcat. Ducker has thrown a touchdown pass to Betts out of this. Betts is at the top of your screen, Daly at the bottom of your screen. Ducker calls his own number and plows ahead across midfield, and he's got a first down. Probably in this situation as we near the final quarter, not knowing the status of your starting quarterback, number 8 will have the ball in his hands a lot moving forward.
Yeah, and now it looks like Bellevue West will probably want to play the clock game. They will want to have just as few possessions left in this game as they can. They just came up with a big stop thanks to a big penalty on Omaha North, so they'll want to score here and really wear down this clock.
Evan Cleveland, 6'2", 200 pounds, a junior. He'll throw for the first time, launches it downfield, and it is caught. The defensive back fell down. Betts made the catch. Betts is in the end zone, and Bellevue West is on top again. 48-yard touchdown pass.
How about that? Evan Cleveland comes in the game. First pass, what do? I'm going to throw it to the number 59 player in the country. He's going to make me look good. Like I said, if you got that man on the outside, you ought to feel pretty comfortable.
And Bellevue West has come all the way back. Down 38-28. They will attempt a PAT. And it is good on a line drive kick by Cruz Gerardo. And it is 41-38, Cleveland's pass to Betts. What a ball game on Game Time tonight, as you see Stovall and Betts, who have been going at it here in the second half. Stovall trying to keep up with Betts, slipped down, and Betts was able to make the catch and trot the next 15 yards into the end zone for another score for one of the top wide receivers in the country in the class of 2020.
Could we have any more lead changes in this game? This has been wild.
And more than likely not the last.
You said 80 points before the start of the fourth quarter. I don't think many would have believed you.
Well, I hope you're enjoying the pictures and the words and the emotion of this game here tonight. Bellevue West back on top. They have scored 13 unanswered. Fairgood Jones returning the kick. Fairgood Jones still on his feet. Bounces to the outside. And he's got a seam down the sidelines. He cuts it back again, and what a return for Trayon Fairgood Jones. And now a wrestling match ensues after Fairgood Jones is tackled. It's separated. 52-yard kickoff return. Again, if you're a fan of defense, we apologize. We'll be back with you next week.
Wow. Gary, 5 touchdowns between the two teams in this third quarter. With 2 minutes to go, there's a very good chance we could make it 6.
Well, John, you've been right about a lot of things this year. Let's see right here. Gray might answer it. Xander Gray, the big fella, rumbling and a tumbling down to the 21-yard line. That's a pickup of 14. Xander Gray's having the best night he's ever had in his 3-year career at Omaha North. He's well over 200 yards, and he's been living in the end zone. He would like to get back there, as now his team is down a field goal as we get a look at this first down run.
Straight up power right between the tackles. Gives the safety a little dead leg move on his way to another first down.
He'll carry it again. Follows his blockers, cuts the outside, cuts back in. He just is wearing on you, and that's another 11 on the chart for Xander Gray. I think he said it best, John. In the season that has turned around for Omaha North, in which they've won 3 in a row, he said early on in the year we ran out of steam, but we're like a train that's picking up momentum. Well, you can hear him going, woo-hoo, every time he's running the football. I apologize to my friends that are conductors. That was a very poor train whistle. But you get the idea of what Xander Gray is doing. Running downhill at 230 pounds. The big fella still has something left in the tank. Pass to the end zone. Touchdown, Wesson. And another score.
How about it? Houston Fogelstrom finds Bryant Wesson again. A fade route. Nobody in purple and white saw that one coming when you got the big 240-pound tailback. But there it was. And North back into the lead, and that is our 6th touchdown of the third quarter.
PAT from Venner is up and good. It's now 45-41. And we still have 54 seconds to go in the third quarter. There was a little bit of an altercation after the PAT We'll have lots of total offense and we'll have lots of penalty yards when the box score is compiled at the end of the evening. We'll see who this unsportsmanlike penalty is on.
So many yellow flags on the turf tonight, and I don't think either coach expected this many. I think you'd be silly if you did, but boy, it's the emotions have boiled over a little bit, and heading into this fourth quarter, hey, there's still 12 minutes of football left. We got to keep a lid on this just a little bit. And now we're sorting things out for a long time between these officials, and start to wonder what's really going on down there. Whether there's going to be an ejection to try and send a message or what.
We hope you're enjoying tonight wherever you might be around the country. Here in Nebraska, in Omaha, all throughout the Game Time Friday Night family. Boy, what a great lineup we've had from coast to coast this year. Some of the best rivalries, some of the best players in our regions that we cover. And big thanks to all of you that have made it possible. Our entire crew is enjoying tonight, delivering pictures and sound, and lots of that, gentlemen, our official. Okay, so there is a personal foul on North, and if you kind of read the lips, John, he said it'll be assessed on the kickoff.
Yeah.
And so let's see if we can do some officiating and maybe get to the conclusion a little bit quicker on the PAT that made it 45-41.
There's the kick. And if you're looking in the middle of the screen, and there's some, there's a big swing in there. And some face mauling going on. It's getting rough. It's getting rough after the whistle.
6 touchdowns here in the third quarter. Lots of flags. Larry Martin he's going to bat for his guys. He's saying, hey, it's on our guy, it's on their guy. Last 12 minutes going to be bananas. But here's the thing to keep in mind. Now, North has got to kick off from the 25-yard line. So Bellevue West is going to get great field position. We've already seen Evan Cleveland come in for Evan Kaiser and throw that touchdown pass.
I put about 40 rows on my score sheet, Gary, and I might use them all tonight.
Betts on the run, collects the kickoff, and breaks a couple of tackles. He's pushed way back. There's a face mask that is not called. Betts finally goes down. Now there's another semi-altercation that almost breaks out away from the return. It looked like Betts, there was a North defender, got a piece of the face mask, his head whipped around. Betts, who tried to turn it from right to left, you see him doubled over there on a chilly night. He lost some key yardage all the way back to about the 23-yard line.
Well, we thought Bellevue West was going to start in good field position, Gary, but here they are, only out at the 23.
And the high snap. Keyser back in the game. Lost it. The ball is still loose on the turf. And a battle for it. And North comes up with it. Keyser back into the game after missing a series. The snap was high. And as it squirted around on the field, it was recovered by Avion Barnes.
Wow. It just couldn't go much worse. You get a kickoff from the 25 that you think you're going to have good field position, and Betts goes backwards about 10 yards on the return. in the high snap. Keyser can't handle it. And you've given it right back to North after you dragged yourself back from the 10-point deficit. And now North with a chance to put it right back on.
Xander Gray behind the line of scrimmage, made a U-turn, went left, went right, went backwards, went forwards, went down, and now again after the whistle, some pushing and shoving, some guys giving each other the business. Xander Gray popped up, got right into the face of a Bellevue West defensive player, not happy at all. And now the third quarter. What a crazy third quarter. A wave of emotions, a bushel full of touchdowns, and who knows what's going to happen in the final 12 minutes. Tell your friends, get to yourview.com. Game time for the fourth quarter. Omaha North 45, Bellevue West 41.
Okay, it's decision time. I want to take classes I need, spend less time working to pay for them. I want flexibility to transfer my credits. I want to get started now. Find your path at iwcc.edu and get hands-on, real-world experience. Start now at Iowa Western.
You're the decision maker, weighing every option to make the smartest choice. That's why you start with Nebraska Medicine, an entire network of top providers working together to keep you healthy. From extraordinary primary care to world-leading research and treatments, so you can be confident everyone's health is in good hands. The state's most comprehensive care in 19 locations. Nebraska Medicine.
Special connection between these two teams playing tonight. Two of the better players that have worn Omaha North and Bellevue West colors have gone on to Iowa Western, where now they play important roles for the number 3 ranked Reavers. Malcolm Lee, former defensive end, now in his second year at Iowa Western, one of the top junior college defensive ends, receiving lots of interest. Iowa, Louisville, Florida Atlantic, Texas will visit him on Monday. He was an all-stater on the championship team for Bellevue West. And then top running back in the state last year for Omaha North, Milton Sarbaugh, now as a freshman at Iowa Western. And this pass is incomplete. Almost intercepted. It was in the hands of Caden Hayes, but then it was knocked away by the wide receivers. Fogelstrom, for one of the rare times as we welcome you back to the start of the fourth quarter, just kind of threw up a little 50-50 ball.
Well, he got baited. He's looking for the tight end, and Hayes undercuts it, but that is a good play. Hey, how about your tight end being your starting middle linebacker, making a great tackle and denying the interception?
North, after the fumble recovery to begin the fourth quarter, they're up 4. Get a couple to score game. Fogelstrom throwing to the back of the end zone. Touchdown! Oh my! Wesson ran underneath the pass and caught it before he ran out and back in the end zone. And guess what, John? We have another score. Brian Wesson is having himself a night on senior night. He wants to make sure that he's got at least one more game on the turf at Kinnick Stadium as Fogelstrom with a pitch and catch. And the PAT from Venner and North, which has had a 10-point lead that they saw evaporate. Now they're up 11, just 13 seconds into the final quarter.
And it's a double move on the outside, and it looked initially like this pass is way too far out in front of Wesson, but there was just enough air under it for him to streak down and haul it in the corner of the end zone. And how about 52 points for this North offense?
Iowa Western has the career choices that fit your busy schedule. Come to campus, study online, or enroll in evening classes now. Visit iwcc.edu. Iowa Western, the world is waiting. And while we wait for the kickoff after North has gone up 11, make a note after the game, go to yourview.com. Check out the high school football recruiting podcast, Over the Middle. We'll hear from the best quarterback ever to come out of the state of Arizona. That's what they're saying. Pinnacle High School's 5-star recruit, Spencer Rattler. He's on the podcast. Also, Jason Jewell of 24/7 Sports joins Jeremy Crabtree to break down high school football in the Valley of the Sun. Plus a preview of #1 St. John Bosco and #2 ranked Mater Dei out of Southern California. All that and more each week on the Over the Middle podcast at yourview.com. 52-41. That'd be 93 combined points. Here comes Keegan Johnson. And there goes Keegan Johnson. He's out near midfield. Are there any flags on the field? 43-yard return. There are no flags. What a return by Bellevue West. I'm telling you right now, defense optional. Just don't worry about it. Don't even think about it now. Don't look at the numbers, because it might come down to the last team to have the football is going to win the game. It just might, because I think, did each coaching staff forget their defensive playbooks at home tonight, Gary? That's certainly what it's looked like, because the offenses have been on fire, and it's good to see Keyser back out there. Last time out, high snap over his head, fumble recovered by North, and they put it in the end zone. Keyser will put it up here, and his pass is incomplete. He was looking for the intended wide receiver, Caden Helms, who has not been out there very much. It was incomplete at the 40, defended by Tyree Stovall, who was probably glad not to be on Xavier Betts. Well, it was a tight window to fit that throw into. He's crossing underneath the safety and above the linebacker with the corner trailing. It's a very tight window, and just couldn't quite hook up. Again, Keyser went down with a knee injury, sat out a series. Cleveland threw a touchdown pass, not a flare in the backfield, caught by Ducker. Ducker is knocked down. Well, it looked like Ducker was going to try and leap over the defender. He was brought down about 3 yards short of the first down. And it's not necessarily a must go for here if they don't pick up the first down, but in this territory, you would expect that Huffman will if they don't get it. Huffman's known as quarterback since he was in junior high. On the Wildcat here, Ducker takes the direct snap, breaks a tackle, and now he sprints inside of the 30. Again, that vision and that burst of quickness for Javon Ducker, the junior running back. 20-yard pickup out of the Wildcat, where Ducker has had himself a night. Touchdown pass, touchdown run. Yeah, this is the previous pass where he gets upended. But I'm telling you, it's the choppy feet in the hole that makes Ducker so dangerous. He can cut any direction out of there. He's nearing 50 career touchdowns. Did I mention he's only a junior? Now he splits out into the slot. Watch quarterback run here. Empty backfield, 5 wide receivers. And a timeout is taken by Bellevue West. Mike Huffman didn't like something in the formation, walked out onto the field, asked for the timeout. 52-41. North leads Bellevue West with 10:23 to go. Now, mark this down on your sheet, John. That's one timeout remaining for Bellevue West, and they're down 11. And the point system in the NSAA, the top 16 of the 32 make the playoffs. Let's look at the top 10 currently coming into tonight's action in Class A. You're going to see both of these teams on your screen that are in the top 10.
There they are. You see Millard West, even though they have a loss, they have the best point average. Bellevue West in second, West Side and Burke, two undefeateds as well. They're inside the top 5. Millard South, who's all the way down at 7th in the rankings by the World Herald, they are rounding out that top 5.
Mentioned that Caden Helms was in the game. There's Xavier Betts. Been out for this series on the bench. Pump fake by Keyser, throws it downfield. It is incomplete.
And Sullivan was coming across the middle wide open, and Keyser just didn't see him because he got pressure in his face.
Looks like Betts will come back into the game once he gets his left shoe tied. He's read his lips there. He said, hey, can I get some help? He's got his gloves on. He's trying to tie his shoes. Second down and 10. We've not called the name of Nate Sullivan much tonight. We also have not called the name much here in the second half of Shane Daly. We've called the name of Ducker, and he's going nowhere. Good defensive stop by Omaha North. Vincent, Krachik, and also Bellevue in there. Emar Vincent, 6'6", 210 pounds. Rush in. Well, they've had some really good defensive players in this 6-7 year stretch at North.
It's been a staple.
And Betts is back into the game. Well, you'll watch him. We'll ISO him. The bottom of your screen. Third down and 10. Snap back to the quarterback. Quick pass. Caught. No. Oh.
Yeah, they'll say he was down before he let go of the
football.
They
will call it a completion. Daly makes the catch, goes down, the ball comes out, and they signal a catch and a first down.
Well, here's the throw from Keyser. Caught the ball.
Oh, there is no replay in high school.
I think that would be overturned if there were.
Did not look like Daly had full control. Doesn't matter. The officials with no replay said yes, he did. And the drive continues. Out of the Wildcat, Ducker to put it up. Throwing and faking, and now on the run. Oh, my. Inside of the 5. Touchdown.
How about Javon Ducker? My goodness. They try to go back to the well with the Wildcat pass play that they scored on early in the game. And Ducker turns nothing into a touchdown. What a play.
That makes it 52-47. This is a key two-point conversion here, John. This to draw Bellevue West within a field goal. And again, they've been using this quirky formation on the two-point conversion all night long. Big collision at the goal line this time. Keyser is in. He was denied the last time, went down with a knee injury. Wouldn't be denied here. And the Thunderbirds, 7-0 on the year, number 2 in the state, are back within a field goal and a hug from the head coach to his quarterback, who with that knee injury missed a series, came back in, and now he has led a touchdown drive.
Well, you saw on the last two-point conversion from Keyser. He tried to go outside. Here's the Ducker play. Look at this. Pulls it down, sprints to the outside, and then just drops the shoulder and drags the defender into the end zone. What a play. That whole series, Omaha North was playing off coverage, Gary. They were putting 5 back in the defensive backfield and dropping the linebackers. They were not bringing pressure at all. And here's the Keyser play. Just squares up the man and dives over the goal line. Wasn't going to try to go outside.
Glenn reminds us that we're now 5 touchdowns away from 72-63, which was the West Side Bellevue West game. And now Keyser on the sidelines. seeing being administered the test. Concussion, that was a huge collision at the goal line. 72-63, Bellevue West and Omaha Westside played that game in Week 8 last year. Westside won that game. This is Week 8 this year. It's 52-49. John, we still have 9+ minutes to go in the fourth quarter. And another return on the way. Fairgood Jones weaving his way one way, and he can't get out the backside. As a good open field tackle by Caden Hayes.
Well, we just had a special teams play with no foolishness from either team, Gary, so we're making strides in that department.
Interested in an exciting career in media studies? Sure you are. Check out the opportunities in TV, radio, and sports promotions at Iowa Western. Visit iwcc.edu. Iowa Western, the world is waiting, and we know that Don Kohler from Iowa Western is watching tonight. They have a big homecoming weekend. Glenn Sisk actually teaches at Iowa Western. How about that? Glenn does a little bit of everything. Glenn's main job is in the sports information department at Creighton University. Glenn also is one of us. You hear Glenn doing Creighton women's basketball
on the radio.
Now North has to go back to work. They're up a field goal. Clock running, 8:39 to go. Keep in mind, Bellevue West has twice had touchdowns taken off the board tonight because of penalties, and they're down to their final timeout.
Here we go, double tights, fullback in the game. Xander Gray dots the I.
Flag down. You know, we've gone a couple of plays without a penalty flag, and actually some of the jawing has been tempered a bit.
I think there were discussions in the break between the third and fourth quarter with each team from their coaching staff just to tamp it down a little bit.
I'll start on North. That penalty pushes them back 5, so it'll make it 2nd down and 11. Houston Fogelstrom. Last year was the quarterback of the state championship, Omaha North Vikings. 3 titles the last 5 years. 5 of the last 6 years they've been in the finals. 6 straight years they've made it to at least the semis. They go with the Thunder, Xander Gray, and he goes nowhere. He ran into 6 different Thunderbirds in the interior of that line.
And David Shannon was right in the middle of it, the big body. Those 2 tackles for Bellevue West, we've talked about it all night long, Gary, that it's an undersized defense on the whole, but you have Shannon and Cheney, who are both 3 bills or better, down there on the inside, and they're tough to run against.
Yeah, tough to find a defensive play of the game for our postgame after what we've seen tonight, but could it happen here on 3rd down and 10? And all kinds of confusion. Bellevue West had players running onto the field. As the snap happened, a penalty flag thrown on Bellevue West as they had a player run on the field as the snap happened. We also have a potential pass interference. The pass interference call will be the one that is whistled on Bellevue West, but Bellevue West only had 10 on the field. They ran a late man on. There was that flag, and then the official realized, I have to throw another for pass interference. So Omaha North gets bailed out, and they will get a 1st down after the pass interference call on 3rd down. That's the kind of night it has been. Strange indeed.
Yeah, Keegan Johnson, it's pretty blatant right there. I mean, he just comes up and gives a forearm shiver to the wide receiver.
So now the clock. It's 7:27. Toss to Gray. Breaks 1, 2 tackles. Cuts to the outside. And he gets up to the 45. One official, and there's a flag down. I was just going to say, one official said Gray stayed in bounds. The other said he went out of bounds. But there's a flag down. Holding on North. And all those things we said about going about 5 plays without a flag, we kind of jinxed ourselves.
Throw that in the trash.
Xander Gray has offers from South Dakota and North Dakota.
Yeah, he just let him out the back door here. And after Thompson couldn't make the tackle, and I believe it was Bird who came through and couldn't make the tackle either. But Hey, you know what? For North, it's not such a bad deal. You get to replay the down and the clock keeps running.
This time of the year, Larry Martin, boy, he has his team playing their best football. They hand it off to Gray, and Gray moves the pile. And then it's slowed up like a traffic jam on 90th and Fort in rush hour. Clock continues to run, however, as Gray has carried a load tonight, over 200 yards rushing. 225. But now, will he carry the football here? Second down and lengthy. Well, third down.
Yeah, the down marker on the field is wrong.
Fogelstrom rolling out. Looked like an intended run. Now he's in trouble. He's going to go down into the waiting arms of Matt Thompson, the junior defensive end who read that play perfectly. Someone to keep an eye on. He had 12.5 tackles for loss last year. Now this year, that's his 8th tackle for loss.
And 3.5 sacks on the year for Thompson. And this defense has been pretty productive.
A little bit of confusion. It is now third down.
The down marker was right. The scoreboard was wrong.
First down is out at the 46. Fulkerson sacked. He never saw Logan Bird on the blitz.
What a time to dial up pressure from that Bellevue West coaching staff. Third and long, you know they're going to have to throw it. And Logan Bird comes on the middle backer blitz and just blows up Houston Fogelstrom. Look at him coming right there. Bang! He's in the backfield in a hurry. And that's going to set Bellevue West up with good field position after this punt.
The punt from Jared Venner will bring us under 5 minutes to go. Vikings holding on to a field goal lead. Johnson picks it up, and then he lost the ball. It's free on the turf. And it is recovered by North. A muff punt, a turnover, a break for the Vikings. And we've seen a little bit of everything in this game.
Third turnover of the game for Bellevue West. And the turnover trophy is out. But what in the world is Keegan Johnson doing? Trying to save a little field position, I understand, but let it go, young man. There's no reason to pick it up. You're going to be in good field position.
John, it looked like he never had full control of it on his hip. Now North in a great situation, up 3, 4:48 to go. They can churn out the clock and they hand it off to Gray. But Gray, after a monster third quarter, has been a marked man here in the fourth, and leading the tackle for losses, Jalen Powell. And it is Gray that is down on the field for the third time tonight. Temperature continues to drop you. See the breath of the players. Again, the game in the mid-40s. It's a damp evening. What a football game on Game Time in week number 8. Along with John Schreiner, I'm Gary Sharp, our entire crew. North up 3, 4:29 to go. Can North pull the upset? We're back after this. It's Game Time on Your View.
Tonight's Game Time play of the game is brought to you by Cox Business Security. Check out the stories behind the games all season long. Visit yourview.com.
This is Rose. Rose was destined to be different, to be a small business owner. She chose Cox Business because we're different too. We got to know Rose. And while she likes to take risks in the kitchen, we made it easy to keep an eye on safety. It's just another way we do business differently. Cox Business Security Solutions.
You're watching Game Time on YourView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out yourview.com.
Xander Gray coming off the field. That's a good sight for North. A good sight is watching the number 3 ranked Iowa Western Reavers. Homecoming, Independence Community College tomorrow. You can follow Iowa Western's championship sports teams, including football, volleyball, at GoReavers.com. Iowa Western, the world is waiting. Offensive-minded Mike Huffman now is going to ask his defense to make a big stop here after the Keegan Johnson fumble on the punt. It's going to be 2nd down and 11. As the temperature drops, it's been a damp week here in Omaha. We can kind of start to see some fog. As crazy as this game has been, that would be the topper if we had fog roll into Kinnick Stadium.
That Bellevue West defense has been in the fog all night long, and they need to clear it out right here.
Gray on the sidelines. Fairgood Jones, who has a touchdown run, is in the backfield. He's the lone back. Vogelstrom waiting, letting that clock run down. Now the toss to Fairgood Jones, and he is hit at the line of scrimmage. He twists and turns for a yard or two. The Bellevue West defense on the run side, which has been gashed for 3 quarters, has been very good here in the 4th.
Well, Fairgood Jones is the kind of back that they can deal with. He's a slasher and a dasher. And, for an undersized linebacking core, they can get downhill and make contact and catch him. It's the guys like Xander Gray that they're going to have trouble with. The back that can run you over is more likely to do damage. But Gray on the sidelines with that injury right now.
Clock running. 3rd down and long. Gray stops. Starts short of the 1st down. And now it will be 4th down. The clock stopped because there is a injured player, and it is Gray again. Xander Gray laying down at the 38-yard line. 233 yards of productivity tonight out of the backfield, but this is another time that Xander Gray, after taking a hit, has gone down. He ran into his own lineman, then was surrounded, and Xander is up and walks off. This time under his own power. He was thrown down. You're Larry Martin, John. They restart the clock. It's going to hit 3 minutes and go under before you run a play here on 4th down. You might even take a delay of game. He has not sent out his punting unit. Remember, Bellevue West just has 1 timeout remaining. Bellevue West, number 2 in Class A. They're one of 3 unbeatens. They're 7-0. North trying to win their 4th in a row to turn their season around. They're going for it on 4th down. But at the last second, Larry Martin asked for a timeout. He let the clock go all the way down to 2:42 remaining, then took the timeout. There may have been just a second left on the play clock. And the 19-year head coach of the Vikings stops the clock, and now we'll discuss what to do on 4th down. Your last punt was fumbled by Keegan Johnson. It gave you the ball basically in this general vicinity. You haven't been able to march toward the goal line. But do you pooch punt it? Do you go for it? As you know, Bellevue West, 1 play away from scoring every single time. And they score a touchdown, and they win the game.
I think that Larry Martin wants to go for this. I really do. I think that you try to pick it up, you put your offense on the field, and you try to win this game with your big tailback in there to finish it off.
We were here about a month ago, and Burke jumped out to a 28-0 lead. North rallied. They got within 28-17, but they lost to fall to 1-3. Tonight, they're trying to win their 4th in a row since that night. They go for it on 4th down, trying to get Bellevue West to jump. Vogelstrom barking out the signals.
Now the play clock running down. We don't know where it's at. There is no play clock here in the stadium for us to see. Oh, it has to be expired, right? Yeah, finally. So North tried to pull Bellevue West offside, and the Thunderbirds wouldn't bite.
Now they'll punt.
They'll snap the ball from the 38-yard line. Venner, now actually, beg your pardon, after the 5-yard penalty, I have all these flags tonight. 5-yard penalty puts the ball back at the 43. So Venner at the 42-yard line. Xavier Betts is back to return this punt. You see him on kickoffs. We haven't seen him on punts yet. So Venner with his toes on his own 42-yard line to punt it away with 2:46 to go. High snap, collects it, steps into it with the right foot. Betts lets it bounce at the 18, rolls inside of the 10, inside of the 5, and it'll be down at the 4. Venner with a 39-yard punt, and he pins the T-Birds deep. They have to go 96 yards to win the football game. Or do they go far enough for a field goal attempt from Gerardo? 52-49. Are you not entertained? 2:35 to go. 5 wide receivers at the disposal of the quarterback, Evan Kieser. He's taken some hits tonight. Can he deliver the biggest blow in the end zone? Pressured now on the run. He's got to get rid of it. He's still scrambling, and now he's got a lot of open field in front of him. He's on the run, and he is knocked out of bounds, and a late flag. A flag as he went out of bounds. Daly coming up to block, pushed a Viking in the back.
And I think it's Daly coming back to the ball.
And could this be another penalty that erases a big gain by Bellevue West? Yes, it is.
And Kieser limping heavily after that run, so he's still not 100%. He's gutting it out back in the game, but he is limping pretty severely.
We saw Evan Cleveland come in for one series, and he threw a touchdown pass. Kieser had a run there. He also may have taken a bump going out of bounds. Rolling out, he's got to get rid of it. He does upfield, and it is incomplete. Ducker made the catch, but could not remain in bounds. Stops the clock with 2:19 to go. 2nd down and 7.
Well, it's probably all pass right here for Bellevue West. There's not a lot of time remaining and a whole bunch of green in front of you. So watch for Xavier Betts down here on the bottom of your screen.
Betts, Sullivan, Daly, Ducker. Got a snap back to the quarterback. Plenty of time. Steps up, fires it deep down the near sideline. Looking for Betts. He overthrew his target off to the side. And that Marquis Siegel turned around a little bit sooner. Might have had a chance on that ball. Now clock stops again. Play took 5 seconds, but now it's 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, Betts is running a sort of a deep out and doesn't really run the route. I don't think he's expecting the football on this play.
Sullivan was in front of Betts. Now 3rd down. Down a field goal. Trying to stay unbeaten. A game that has inched over the 3-hour mark. And the pass is incomplete. Daly couldn't haul it in. And then on the deflection, it was just fluttering in the air. That had interception written all over it. With 2:09 to go, it is 4th down. And Bellevue West needs at least 7 yards.
And with only one timeout remaining, they're going to have to convert right here, or it's pretty much game time.
Here we go. Is this where the upset becomes reality? Pass interference. Betts got hit from behind with the ball in the air. First down for Bellevue West. We play on with 2:04 to go.
Well, you give him a chance to make a play or draw a penalty. You just throw it up and let him do his thing, and the defender runs right through his back. It looked like he was going to make the play, Gary. He was in position and just got run into from behind. It's a good penalty call from the officiating crew. There can be no complaints from the north sideline. Just a corner route. He's in position and gets mugged.
Just one timeout remaining for Bellevue West, and a quarterback who has taken some hits here in the second half. He has a little hiccup in his giddy up. He's not able to plant his feet and throw with authority like he did in the first 3 quarters. And a timeout taken by Omaha North. So each team has one timeout remaining with 2:04 to go. Omaha North leading Bellevue West 52-49. Cruz Gerardo is the place kicker for Bellevue West. They do not attempt many field goals. So to try and give you an idea of where Bellevue West has to get the football to attempt a game-tying field goal, I would say at least
15,
the 15 or 20-yard line.
Yeah,
so they're probably not going with that mindset, but now they've got to start to throw the football down the field. They get the break on the pass interference, John. They got a fresh set of downs with still 2:04 to go in that one timeout that they have left.
And don't rule out something extraordinary from Bellevue West head coach Mike Huffman. He's got a bag of tricks over there that is a mile wide and a mile deep, and he's going to dig deep down in there and find something that you wouldn't expect.
There's Xavier Betts, number 10 wide receiver in the country in the class of 2020. Instead, they keep it on the ground with Ducker. Ducker's got a big pickup of nearly 9 yards. Bellevue West has got to hurry up to the line of scrimmage. We're under 2 minutes to go. Second straight year, Bellevue West has started 7-0. Last year, they lost in week 8. Finished 9-2, knocked out in the second round by Creighton Prep. Keyser to throw it. Pump fake. Looking deep. He's looking for Sullivan. Downfield, there's a collision, and Sullivan can't make the catch, but there's a flag down.
And it's going to be interesting in who this is on, because Sullivan got a little two-handed shove in there, but he collided with a defender. So this is an interesting call.
And the longer this discussion goes on, you're thinking that Sullivan might have been the guilty party. Oh, a huge call coming up here. Now a minute 32 to go. This is a discussion that's going a little bit longer, but they want to get it right. They've called a lot of penalties tonight, but this has been a really good crew. Pass interference on North. Another pass interference on the Vikings.
Oh, and then an unsportsmanlike conduct going to be thrown on the sideline. So that's going to be a 30-yard swing.
Let's look at the pass interference call. Sullivan battling with the defensive back, trying to come down with the ball. There's the flag.
That's a tough call.
And then the long discussion between the 3 officials. An additional flag on the north sideline. Well, no. They call a sideline warning. So a sideline warning, not a flag on the north sideline.
Well, that's interesting, because normally the sideline warning is only called when the official is running down the sideline and runs into someone standing too close to the white line. A sideline warning is only for being too close to the field, as far as I understand it.
So the 15-yard penalty, the second one that has happened on this drive against North, pass interference variety.
So I think that's a break for the North sideline that they only were given a warning.
Bellevue West now has the ball at the 47-yard line. Down a field goal, 92 seconds to go. Man in motion, Sullivan. And Keyser goes down. Malachi O'Neal, who we've not mentioned hardly at all tonight, one of the top defenders on this North defense, with a big stop.
Xander Gray in there playing defense as well.
And a final timeout taken by Bellevue West. You don't have to miss the big games in high school football. You can take us along, catch games like this one streaming live on yourview.com. Once there, click on the live button, and there you'll find the games we are streaming from around the nation. If it's high school football, we've got you covered. That's yourview.com. Last week, we had Millard North and Papillion La Vista. And Millard North rallied in the fourth quarter, sent it to overtime, and the game came down to the final play. Before that, we had Elkhorn South and Omaha West Side. As the Warriors won to remain unbeaten, that came down to the final play. Here tonight, this may come down to the final play, but before we ever get to it, we have had plenty of plays that have made you go, wow, and what?
It's been a weird one.
To say the least.
101 total points scored. 6 touchdowns between the two teams in the third quarter alone.
Now a minute 24 to go. Bellevue West took that timeout. They are out of timeouts. Keyser rolls out. He's under pressure. He's got to get rid of the football. Throws it deep down the field. It's out of bounds. He's looking for Sullivan. But the pressure by Vinson. The senior quarterback had to just throw it away. It stops the clock with a minute 18 to go. 3rd down and 15.
You don't have to get it all here because you know you're going for it on 4th down. So perhaps you run something over the middle, a crossing route, get Ducker out into the flat and pick up 7 or 8 yards, get yourself back to a 4th and 10 situation.
First time these two teams have met since the Class A final in 2016, in which Bellevue West won 43-6. 3rd down and 15. The last two state champions battling it out on week 8 of game time. Keyser throws it down the field. His arm was hit as he threw it, and it came up short of the intended wide receiver, Nate Sullivan, who was surrounded by 4 Vikings. And now it is 4th down.
Another huge 4th down on this drive. They got bailed out with a pass interference penalty. And they're backed up at their own 5 or 6 yard line. What can they dial up right here?
You can't look for that play. You've got to make a completion. You got to get to the 43-yard line of North. Well, the Vikings bring pressure. They have 3 down linemen. Snap back. Play action. Keyser's got time. Dancing around now. Chased out of the pocket. Looking downfield. There's a flag down in the area of holding. He launches it down the field, and there's another flag. So it looks like we'll have a holding on Bellevue West and a pass interference call on Omaha North.
That's certainly what the North sideline is hoping. And I'm pretty good lip reader. I saw holding and PI.
We'll get to do 4th down again. Well, we apologize to anyone that had their DVR set for 3 hours or had dinner reservations at 10 tonight.
If you had plans tonight, blow those off.
Well, hopefully we've made up for it. As wild as this game has been, we come down to maybe the final play for Bellevue West to keep an unbeaten season. We'll do 4th down again. 4th down and 15. The blitz. And he'll go down. And the unbeaten season will go down. Avion Barnes with the sack on 4th down. And the Vikings are going to pull off the upset.
Gutsy call to bring the blitz against a team that has burned you deep all night long. But Avion Barnes gets home, and you have to wonder if Evan Keyser on the bad wheel, if he's not injured, if he's 100%, does he manage to escape that and create something? As it stands, Barnes gets the sack. Bellevue West is going to have a blemish in the loss column.
They're going to have a sleepless night on that coaching staff. A couple of touchdowns taken off the board.
The 2-point conversions.
The turnovers. But North matched Bellevue West score for score in that first half. They went in the locker room up 24-22. We had the crazy third quarter that included 6 touchdowns. North never backed down. And it's this time of year again, and Larry Martin has his football team playing at peak level. They're going to win their 4th in a row. They're in victory formation, and this will feel really, really special to that Viking sideline on senior night. They're going to upset the number 2 ranked Bellevue West Thunderbirds.
I know you have a plan and you do what you do, Gary, but I can't imagine there won't be some second guessing. 3 failed 2-point conversions in this game for Bellevue West. You know what that means? It's the difference between being tied and being down 3 right now.
Final. Omaha North 52, Bellevue West 49. A big night for Xander Gray. A big night for Larry Martin. He had a stern visit with his team after they started the year 1-3. Now they will go into the final week of the regular season at 5-3 as Bellevue West suffers their first loss. They drop to 7-1. 52-49, one of the crazier games that you'll see all season long. I hope you enjoyed it on Game Time. We've got plenty for you on the post game. We've got some big old crooked numbers put up by that young man, Xander Gray, over 200 yards rushing. We will chat with our player of the game in a moment. We found a defensive play of the game, and it was on the sack. We have highlights. Boy, Xander Gray, he might be talking through his sleep tonight. He was pretty emotional before the game. He said, guys, let's go. He said that a month ago. Well, they're following him, and they've now won 4 in a row. Here is our defensive play of the game. And this is the one that seals the upset.
Yeah, 4th down. And the defensive coaching staff for Omaha North decides to bring the blitz, and Avion Barnes gets in there, gets home, doesn't allow Keyser to set up and throw the ball. And that was the difference maker. It ended the chance for Bellevue West to get down into field goal territory and perhaps tie the game and preserve the win for Omaha North.
We're going to talk to either Larry Martin, the head coach of North, or Xander Gray. And our player of the game is Xander Gray. 233 yards rushing. As you saw, he just was greeted by Milton Sarbaugh, who was his teammate last year and is now at Iowa Western, and is here tonight to watch Xander Gray have himself a night. 28 carries, 233 yards in a game that had a combined 958 yards of total offense. And here is every single yard that Xander Gray rushed for.
Well, I don't think we have time for all that, Gary Sharp, but boy, he was good tonight. And you know he's going to be good in yards after contact, but where he was also very good was with his vision. You saw him make several cutbacks tonight to spring himself. And he got to the outside and outran some folks tonight too. So Xander Gray had himself one whale of a game, and this was a special one right there. That move, that stiff arm. What a game.
28 carries, 233 yards. And a lot of this breaking into the open field and breaking the tape at the goal line. Again, we hope to talk to Xander Gray, the big senior. Yeah, he'll feel it. He'll feel it tomorrow morning, but for right now, boy, look at that smile that he'll show you as he listens to his head coach. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back to Kinnick Stadium. What a night tonight. Omaha North upsets Bellevue West 52-49. Best way to describe this game? Don't want to steal any of your thunder, John. This game was bananas.
It certainly was. It was bananas, nuts with chocolate on top.
More Game Time on.
Tonight's Game Time player of the game is brought to you by Iowa Western. The world is waiting. Check out the stories behind the games all season long. Visit yourview.com.
Now at H&H, Factory Direct Clearance Pre-Owned. As a new car dealer, we get access to Factory Direct used vehicles before the public. And we just got a shipment at all 3 locations. Visit hhautomotive.com and click Factory Direct to see them all. Deals like this 2017 Camry, only $16,000. We're passing the savings on to you at all 3 H&H locations. Or shop online, hhautomotive.com.
Transform your existing space today with a new remodel from DeLoa & Sons. No matter what your budget is, our in-house design team will bring your vision to life, providing the quality craftsmanship you expect. And you work directly with the owner during all phases of your project, remodeling residential and commercial spaces for over 20 years. DeLoa & Sons. Design, build, remodel. Start your new project today. Call or learn more at DeLoaConstruction.com.
You're watching Game Time on YourView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out yourview.com.
(52-49). Omaha North defeats Bellevue West, a game in which we had 101 combined points, over 900 yards of offense combined, 30 penalties combined. But at the end of the evening, it's another victory for North, now 4 in a row, as we're joined by their head coach, Larry Martin. Coach, how do you, as now we're joined by the head coach, Larry Martin. All right, in the short amount of time, how do you sum up what you just saw over the last 48 minutes of football?
Well, what an incredible game by the kids. You know, both teams played extremely hard. You know, it was a highly competitive game, and you know, it's just one of those things that you just got to keep making plays for 4 quarters and just trying to find a way.
Coach, there were some moments in that game where it looked like things were getting pretty chippy, and then between the 3rd and 4th quarter, it seems like the foolishness kind of slowed down. What did you say to your team in that break?
Well, I brought them over. You know, it's like you said, you got a lot of high caliber kids on there. You know, the kids know each other, and it's late in the season, and everybody knows you're playing for a seed and stuff like that. So, you know, I just proud of our kids. They regrouped. You know, nothing against Bellevue West. You know, it's just kids competing. You know, and that's the nature of the beast there. So, just extremely proud of our kids, and they listened and they trusted their coaches and just continued to make plays all night long.
Last time we were here, you lost to Burke. You were 1-3. I know you were a little bit down, but you had some guys that were juniors that played key roles on that state championship team last year that played key roles tonight. What's been the difference from the Burke game to the end of the Bellevue West game?
Just a regroup session. You know, we've been blessed with a lot of success for a lot of years, and there's high expectations on these young kids when they come into the season. And you know, we were going through a little bit of a transition there, and there's a lot of variables that play into that. But where I'm proud is after that Burke game, we just rolled up our sleeves, said we're going to go back to work, and it's tough. You know, after you sit there with a record, and you know everybody has just unrealistic expectations. You're just going to be in a state championship every year. I mean, that's tough to do. So we just rolled our sleeves, went back to work on Monday through Thursday is where I think we've made the biggest difference, and we learned a lot about our team. And now, you know, we're starting to reap the benefits of it.
One more question for you here, Coach. Xander obviously had a big night, but One of the big difference makers was that connection between your quarterback, Houston Fogelstrom, and Bryant Wesson. 3 touchdowns from those two tonight. What do you think of the passing game?
Yeah, we're a work in progress there continually. We've just really tried to simplify some things for them. Hats off to those young people. They go over when we're doing team defense and work on those during practice, or even stick around after practice and do some things like that. So, they're very competitive kids. We want to be very efficient and effectively throwing the football. We are underachieving in that. So I'm happy for those kids, because obviously you want them to be rewarded with some success when they're doing some things.
Coach, it's this time of the year. It's late October. You got your team playing at peak level. Congratulations on the victory. Good luck next week, and we'll see you in the playoffs.
Yeah, and you can't do that with an exceptional staff. I'm so proud of our coaches, and with the expectations on them, and I appreciate everything. I sent them a long text tonight, or this morning, and I'm very happy for them, because they do a lot of work that's going behind the scenes, and I'm proud of them all.
Thanks, Larry.
You bet.
52-49, Omaha North upsets Bellevue West. North now 5-3, Bellevue West 7-1. Xander Gray, 28 carries, 233 yards, and 3 scores. We will see him in the postseason once again. We'll see both of these teams. And how about we do this again, John?
I'd love to.
We will do this for the final time in the regular season next week, when we will join you on the other side of the river. We will bring you Council Bluffs Thomas Jefferson and Council Bluffs Abraham Lincoln to wrap up the regular season. For John Schreiner, for our statistician Glenn Sisk, for our entire Game Time crew, I'm Gary Sharp. What a wild night tonight. We hope you enjoyed it. Omaha North 52, Bellevue West 49. You can catch the entire replay, and we recommend it. Just go to yourview.com. Enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll talk to you next Friday on the final week of the regular season. Good night from Omaha.
Game Time high school football action on Your View has been brought to you by Iowa Western, the world is waiting, and by Cox Business Security. Join us all fall long for some of the top high school football from around the country on Game Time. For in-depth interviews, behind-the-scenes coverage, recruiting updates, and more, be sure to visit yourview.com, your home for high school football.